Hello everyone, welcome back to my astrology channel. So in today's video, I will be talking about the April 2022 monthly forecast, the astrological energy that's available in the month of April for each of zodiac sign. But before I get to the zodiac signs, I just want to discuss just the general energies that's available in this month and how the month of April will feel like. Now, the month of April begins with a lot of emphasis on the energy of the Aries sign. Now, there is a new moon on the very first day of April. The 1st April, there's a new moon in Aries, and then there's Sun and Mercury already in the sign. So the energy the first 10 days of the month of April is all about taking action, moving forward, and just bringing that a fresh start, new beginnings, sowing the seed of new intention, to go forward. Now, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, and it marks the beginning of the astrological year. When Sun moves in the sign of Aries at the spring equinox, the new astrological year begins. So there's a lot of emphasis in the end of March and the first half of April on this sign. So this energy is very cardinal, very fiery. So it's all about moving forward and taking action, whatever you want to take action in. Now, in the middle of the month, on the 16th of April, there will be a full moon in the sign of Libra. So Libra is the opposite sign to Aries. So it's all about harmony and balance at that point of time. And with the full moon energy, it's about coming to a culmination, release, fulfillment regarding finding that balance, achieving more clarity about how to have a more harmonious approach in life, in wherever your Libra sign sits. Now, besides the Aries energy in the month of April, there is a lot of emphasis on the sign of Pisces, Aquarius, Taurus as well, because there's planets in these signs. So it makes aspects with other planets. So there's positive aspects as well as challenging aspects that we need to work. Now, the emphasis on the sign of Pisces in the month of April is all about having clear boundaries, having realistic expectations, being more spiritual from within, approaching things in life more from a spiritual perspective. And with Aquarius energy, it's all about, chasing your hopes and wishes, being a little bit more social, collaborative, being a little bit more of the collective mindset, contributing your bit in the collective. And of course, with this Taurus energy, with Uranus there, Mercury will be moving in there, as well as there is, of course, the true node, the North node is in there. So there's a lot of emphasis on Taurus as well, your self-worth, your sense of value, how you value yourself, your finances, personal finance, and all that. So there's a lot of emphasis on these energy, Aries, Pisces, Taurus, Aquarius energies. Now, there will be a solar eclipse as well in the sign of Taurus towards the end of the month on the 30th of April. So that's another great time to have this fresh beginning in wherever this Taurus sign sits in your chart. Now, solar eclipse that occurs in the sign of Taurus on the 30th of April is a little bit different from the new moons that we have on a monthly basis. Whenever there's a solar eclipse, it's a time to set new intention, but it's a little bit more amplified, it's more powerful. You can really expect turning points, really massive changes, massive updates, news, turn of events, twists of fate, and all that can happen on this solar eclipse. And it's going to be the first solar eclipse of the year 2022. So it's going to be truly massive. And it's time to really get down to whatever you want to achieve. You put down the intention, make some progress, really move on to that new development or whatever you want to achieve. Wherever your Taurus sign sits, that's really a good time to have really turn things around, change things, bring a transformation in that area of life. Now, overall, the month of April 2022 is a lot to do with you, yourself, your sense of destiny, your priorities, your self-image, how you see yourself, your values, your self-worth, your value system, how you see yourself, what is your place in the world, how you value yourself and how you value others, or how others value you. So this dynamic is definitely there in the month of April. Besides, obviously, the need to be more compassionate, more sympathetic towards yourself and then towards others as well. So there's going to be a lot of emphasis on you, your values, your healing, your self-healing, your hopes and wishes, your desires, your need to move forward, to have those new beginnings, powerful new beginnings. So April 2022 is definitely a very powerful month. Now let's move on to each of the zodiac sign, from Aries all the way to Pisces, and I will discuss how the month of April is going to be for each of the sign. So let's begin. Hello, my lovely Aries. Now, for you, the month of April 2022 is going to be all about yourself. It's going to be about, your social circle, your inner motivations, your relationship, your career matters, how you communicate, your money matters, how you earn money, how you make your money. So all these energies, all these aspects of life is going to, be at the forefront for you. Now, the month starts with a new moon in the sign of Aries in your sign. So this is the time to really put any ideas that you have been working on or, planning to put those ideas in motion. Now, we will be at the beginning of a new cycle on the 1st of April with the new moon in Aries. Now, Aries being the first sign of the zodiac and with a new moon occurring in the sign of Aries, it's time to really have fresh beginning. For the entire year. So whatever you want to achieve going forward, whatever your goals and ambitions are, this is the time to have those fresh mindset. Think about anything that you've been working on in a different way. Think about having these fresh beginnings, new start. So the intention, whatever you want to achieve going forward, this is the time to put those in motion. Now, Aries, your natural energy is to take action, to move forward and make things happen. So this is the perfect time to get the ball rolling. Now, until the 10th of April, Mercury is also in your sign Aries, in your first house. So from there, it's going to make aspect with planets in the sign of Aquarius. Now we have Mars and Saturn already in the sign of Aquarius. Mars will be in the sign of Aquarius until about the middle of the month, but Saturn is there for another whole year. Now, to begin with, there will be a lot of emphasis on your 11th house as well, in your social circle, your collaboration, how you come together with people in a group project to make things happen for the purpose of professional gains and all that. So with Mars and Saturn in the sign of Aquarius in your 11th house, there's a lot of determination to succeed. And whatever effort you put in during this time, you will really be after that goal that you want to achieve, because Mars is the energy and Saturn is all about putting in the sustained effort towards the pursuit of your goal. So with the strong determination and sustained effort in your 11th house of collaboration, social circle, group project and all that, you are definitely going to move towards your goals and ambition, whatever you have, your hopes and wishes, whatever you have, you will move towards that with more determination during the first half of the month, most definitely. Now, Mercury in your sign, in the sign of Aries, is going to form sextile aspect with the planets in the Aquarius, because Mercury in Aries is an fire sign and Mars and Saturn in Aquarius is air sign. Now, Mercury forming a harmonious aspect with Mars and Saturn is actually a great energy, because your mind is fully focused, it's ready to take action, it's very confident, you're feeling very confident as well, mentally from inside, you're very active, you want to make things happen, you're moving forward. So with this Mercury aspecting Mars and Saturn is actually a great time to really move things forward. So with the new moon in the sign of Aries on the 1st of April, whatever efforts you put at that time to have a fresh beginning, you will have support from other planets later on in the month as well to keep going, because Mercury is your mind, is your energy, how you think, how you connect with people, how you network. All that mental agility and intellectual engagement is connected with the Mars and Saturn energy in the house of social circle, collaboration, group project. So you are definitely very eager. So you're definitely very much proactive to achieve professional gains, hopes and wishes, and work in a group project and contribute in the group project in the best way possible. So definitely that energy is there for you. So it's a great time for career moves, climbing up the ladder, showing your capabilities, skills, capabilities, whatever you have. You will feel very confident in, pursuing a group project, and you will be able to project yourself in the best possible light to receive the rewards, to achieve, whatever your desires are regarding your goals and ambition, your career matters, or your group project collaboration, if you're getting involved with people to make things happen. So definitely a great time. The first 10 days of the month of April is a great time to work harmoniously with people you work with, your team, peers, associates, whatever they are. So it's a great time to really move those things forward. Now, besides the emphasis on yourself and your social activities in the first week of April, there's a lot of focus on your inner motivation as well, your self-awareness, your subconscious self, working behind the scene as well, because Venus moves in the sign of Pisces on the 5th of April, and that's fantastic because Venus in Pisces and in your 12th house is a great position. It's got great directional strength there, and you can really achieve and be very inspired, very creatively inclined during this time. So whatever creative project, creative work, whatever you've been working on, if you put out for others to see, you will definitely receive a lot of accolades, appreciation, and just people will really appreciate you, because Venus in 12th house in the sign of Pisces is a great time to be more creative, more sensitive, even more romantic as well during this time. So definitely bring out that inspired side of you as Venus moves in the sign of Pisces. Now during the time Venus is in the sign of Pisces, it will come close to Jupiter, Neptune and all that. So that is even better time to be more creative, spiritual, lead from a more of a compassionate, considerate space. Like whatever you're trying to create and whatever you're trying to get involved in, lead from a more sensitive, compassionate, creative, artistic space. So you will definitely reap good rewards, going forward. Now there's going to be a lot of emphasis on the Pisces and Taurus sign as well in the month of April. Now we already are experiencing the effect of these two signs from the beginning of this year, because the nodes shifted the sign of Taurus and Scorpio. So with the planets in the Pisces sign is going to making aspect with the planets in your Taurus sign. So there's a lot of emphasis on your inner motivation, self-awareness, subconscious motivation connected to your financial situation, how you're making money. Maybe you are divinely inspired to make moves regarding how you can make money, your money making capabilities, connecting with people, projecting yourself in the best possible manner. All that is very much, you're getting you're very inspired, you're very motivated to achieve these things. Now when Jupiter connects with the North Node in the sign of Taurus, this is a great time to any past efforts, any good efforts, positive efforts that you have been putting in the past, optimistic, growth inducing, expansive kind of ideas, goals, ambition, whatever you have, this is the time is going to reap your reward, even financial reward. So definitely it's a good time to really put yourself out there, connect with people, mingle with people, get yourself involved in group projects, project your creative side to other people. You will see yourself, the sense of self, your self-worth, money matters, your collaborations, all that is going to be very beneficial if you put yourself out and really project yourself in the best creative and sensitive way, Aries. Now on the 10th of April, Mercury is going to move in the sign of Taurus from your sign. So from Aries in your first house of yourself, it's going to move in the sign of Taurus in your second house, which is about your money matters, your personal finance. So this is a time when you need to use your common sense in order to have better opportunities regarding making more money. Now Taurus is an earthy sign. Taurus is about material things. It's a natural second house energy, so it's connected to material gains, connected to finances, it's connected to money matters, self-worth, possessions and all that, and also the stability and security that comes from material gains. So when Mercury moves in your second house in the sign of a Taurus, there's an extra emphasis on what is real and what is not. So Taurus is a very tangible earthy sign. So Mercury here is more focused on achieving things on material level, on tangible level. Mercury in Taurus is not in a fantasy land. It's very much focused on what it can achieve and what it cannot, and it focuses on where the material gains, the tangible gains comes its way. And in terms of finances, this is where your focus is going to be from 10th April onwards. This is where your main focus will be from the 10th of April until about towards the end of the month of April, not in the entire month, because then it moves in the sign of Gemini in the last few days of the month of April. But the time when it's in the sign of Taurus, you are very much focused, your mind is very much focused on achieving things that is real. So while Mercury is in the sign of Taurus in the second half of the month of April, is going to form aspect with planets in Pisces, a harmonious aspect. So Venus, Jupiter and Neptune, Mercury is going to sextile all these planets, one after another. So it's a great time. It's a very fun-loving, relaxing time, a very creatively inclined time as well, very social time. So you can connect with people. You will feel a little bit more harmonious where a relationship is concerned. And also if you've got any plans for the future, anything you're planning, any future projects or anything that you have, this is also a great time to focus on those, and you will see positive results regarding these matters, because you are very broad-minded, open-minded during this time. You're ready to understand other people and, listen to other people as well during this time. So you're very focused on your future during this time, and your decision-making abilities is really good. You're very communicative, relaxed, creative, artistic, all that. So Neptune, Jupiter, and Venus, the energy of these planets on your Mercury, which is your mind, is all going to help you understand your finances better. And it's going to give you this internal motivation or understand your subconscious self better, and thus you'll find ways to plan for the future, your financial future, and move on with the goals, whatever you have, work towards that goals. So it's a really good time in the middle of the month, especially between the 17th of April to 27th of April. It's a really good time to really be a little bit more social, connect with people, network with people, use your skills and capabilities, your creative side and all that to create something real, tangible in terms of where your finances are concerned. Now, besides this harmonious aspect that Mercury is going to make with the planets in Pisces, it's also going to conjunct Uranus in the sign of Taurus, which is in the same sign, and it will square Saturn in the sign of Aquarius. So overall, it's a really good energy in the middle of the month with Mercury. But with Saturn involved, there's a need to focus yourself on sustained effort as well. Put your mind to the hard work that you need to put. So things will happen, turn out well if you are putting in that effort. You're determined, you're structured, self-discipline and all that. That will take you on that path, the goals, whatever you have regarding your, your professional gains, your hopes and wishes, your collaboration, whatever, social activity, group projects will yield financial, tangible financial reward if you are a little bit more focused on or structuring yourself, self-disciplining yourself more to, stick to the plans and ideas that you have. Now, with the conjunction with Uranus, Mercury is fantastic time because it's a very exciting time. You're mentally very active. You are, you're thinking outside the box as well. Your interactions, your daily routine, all that has got this, you're excited about that. Whatever you want to do around this time, you're very much excited. So Aries, with the Mercury energy in the month of April, there's a need to be creative, social, interactive, using your skills and capability, and be a little bit more out of the box, be unconventional. If things are not working the way you have been doing it, to bring some kind of change, some new energy in it, in terms of your finances mostly. And all this can be achieved through sustained effort, self-discipline, structured effort, so that if any thoughts, negative thoughts, if it comes your way in terms of when Mercury is squaring Saturn, any limited kind of thoughts that maybe you're doubting yourself that you won't be able to get to wherever you want to get to, it's time to pay attention to the details, be more structured, more self-disciplined, and then you will be able to achieve whatever goals you have moving forward. Now, in the middle of the month, there will be a little bit focus on your relationship because there's a full moon occurring in the sign of Libra. Now, when a full moon occurs in your opposite sign, it's all about relationship. And it's not just personal relationship. It's, again, any relationship, any one-to-one interaction that you have in your life. So you may want to, lead from a place of harmony, balance, be a little bit more insightful in terms of how you're dealing with, relationship interaction with other people. And if you need to change any aspect of your relationship in terms of expectations, your expectations and other people's expectations of you, this full moon in Libra in the middle of the month is definitely going to give you this understanding, more clarity regarding how to proceed. So in the middle of the month, the focus is a bit on you and your relationship, most definitely. Now, on the 19th of April, Sun will move in the sign of Taurus. So there is Mercury in the sign of Taurus, Uranus, North Node in the sign of Taurus, and now there is Sun as well. So there's a lot of emphasis again on your second house matter, on your finances, how you deal with it, how you manage it, how you earn it. All that comes to forefront as well. And with Taurus energy, it's all about focusing on what's real, what's tangible, what you can really hold it in your hand, that kind of tangibility. Taurus is associated with tangibility and what's real. So only tangible and real things can truly generate a feeling of sense of self-worth during this time for you. So you're definitely very much focused on achieving your financial goals on a very tangible and real way. Now on the 29th of April, towards the end of the month, Pluto is going to go retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. Now just before it goes retrograde, just a couple of days before, Mercury is going to aspect this Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. Now Mercury is in the sign of Taurus and Pluto in the sign of Capricorn, so it's earthy energy, so it's a trine and harmonious aspect. Now with Mercury connecting with Pluto, your mind is thinking very powerfully. Whatever ideas that you have, you're very intensely connected with those goals, whatever goals you have. Now Capricorn is your career house, 10th house, and again Taurus is the second house, money house. So career and money aspect comes into forefront towards it, and especially the last week of the month of April. So there's a lot of intense focus on your career matters and your money matters. So this is the time you can maybe ask for a pay rise. You can influence other people as well, powerfully influence. You can persuade other people as well into, if you've got a business, you can maybe bring in some business, make some more money by using your very efficient communication style, very persuasive communication style. So this is a good time to use whatever reputation you have to make more money. Now when Pluto goes retrograde, the sign of Capricorn, in your 10th house, your career house is going to go through transformation over the next few months while it is in retrograde motion. Now Pluto goes retrograde every year in the summer months. So when Pluto is in retrograde motion in your career house, this is a time to apply a more scrupulous approach to your career matter, a bit more ethical approach to your career matter. This retrograde Pluto will make you go within, for answers, to heal yourself, transform yourself, and approach your career matter in ethical, scrupulous, disciplined way, and thus achieve whatever goals and ambition you have moving forward when Pluto is in direct motion later on in the year. Now in the last couple of days of the month of April, Mercury moves in the sign of Gemini in your 3rd house. Now that's perfect because Mercury in the sign of Gemini in your 3rd house has got directional strength. It's really strong. You're very communicative, efficient, active. Your skills and capabilities all can be used in the best possible manner. So it's a great time when Mercury moves in the sign of Gemini. Now on the 30th of April, there is going to be a solar eclipse in the sign of Taurus, which is a new moon. In your 2nd house, this solar eclipse occurs. Now solar eclipse is a time when changes happen, maybe happen suddenly. Things you have been waiting for, you may get updates, messages, information to move things forward. Things that you have been basically working on and things were not moving. So again, in your 2nd house, there's a lot of emphasis in your money matters again in the month of April. So the entire month of April, Aries, there's so much emphasis on your money matters, and there's a need to be more real, more realistic, use your common sense, be focused on what is real rather than living in a fantasy land. By the end of it, you may see some movement in your financial matters, maybe a new beginning, a new start. The new moon is solar eclipse. New moon is about new beginning, and with solar eclipse it's even powerful new beginning, so it's very amplified. So if whatever you have been working in terms of your finances, Aries, by the end of the month of April, you will definitely see some kind of forward movement. It can be sudden, drastic, and positive, because solar eclipse effect of solar eclipse you will see throughout the year, because there's going to be the solar eclipse is on the Taurus and Scorpio axis, so that's your 2nd and 8th house, again your money axis. So there's a lot of changes occurring in your money matters, Aries, this year. So April is the month probably when this change kick starts, and you will see it throughout the year how it progresses. So overall, Aries, there's a lot of focus on yourself, on your money matters, on your career matters, how you use your social contacts, how you network. All that is going through a lot of change during this month. And your communication style, your networking style, your relationship with others, all that is going through transformation. It's going through change, and you'll see a lot of changes in your money matters throughout the year, because April is the month when it all kick starts with all that 2nd house focus in your chart, Aries. Hello my lovely Taurus. So the month of April 2022 for you, Taurus, is going to be a lot about yourself, because there's so much energy in your sign, in your 1st house. Also, there's a lot of emphasis, especially in the first half of the month of April, on Aries sign, which is your 12th house. So your inner motivation, your subconscious self, so your imagination, inspiration, creative side, artistic side, and also things that are behind the scene, your subconscious, old patterns, past patterns, all those things comes to surface during this month as well. Now there's a lot of emphasis on career matters as well, and your social circle, because there are planets in the sign of Pisces, which is your 11th house, and Aquarius, which is your 10th house. So in the month of April, there's a lot of emphasis on your career matters, your social circle, your inner motivations, your subconscious self, and yourself. Now, to begin with, on the 1st of April, there's a new moon occurring in the sign of Aries, which is your 12th house. Now, whenever new moon occurs in your 12th house, this is a time when things that are lying underneath the surface, especially past patterns where there's a need for closure, and all that comes to the surface, and there's a need to deal with these energy. Now, new moon in your 12th house is a time to also raise awareness regarding yourself, your habits, your patterns, how you deal with things, how you approach things. All those things needs to go through a review, and there's a need for a new beginning, fresh approach on the 1st of April itself. So it's a time to release, purge any old patterns that is not serving you anymore, any past pattern. Now 12th house is a very hidden house, so this change, this new beginning probably will be on a very private, personal level. It may not be for everybody to see, but definitely there's a need to let go, release of anything that is keeping you stuck, especially subconscious pattern. So to begin the month of April, there's a need to focus on yourself, create awareness, raise awareness regarding yourself and your motivations, to feel a little bit more connected with yourself and your environment, Taurus. Now moving forward, there is a lot of emphasis on your career matters as well, because Mars and Saturn both are in the sign of Aquarius in your 10th house. Now Mars and Saturn together in your 10th house is actually a very good position. So you'll feel a bit more determined to take action where your career matters are concerned, and you will be more structured, self-disciplined to make changes, make movements, achieve whatever you want to achieve. Career matters, career related matters. You will be able to put sustained effort, and you're very determined to achieve your career goals during this time. Now Mars will be in your 10th house for the first couple of weeks of the month of April, so this is the perfect time to be more determined, more proactive, more action oriented where your career matters are concerned. Now Saturn will be in there as well for the entire year, so you may feel a bit of restlessness, and slow movement where your career matters are concerned. Maybe you have been putting a lot of effort, but you're not seeing the results. But the most important thing with Saturn in your 10th house is to stick to it and keep that effort going. Don't lose hope, just keep going. At the end of it, you will definitely receive the reward of all the past efforts and all the hard work that you put in. Now the first 10 days of the month of April, Mercury is going to be in the sign of Aries in your 12th house, and after that on the 10th of April it moves in your sign, in the sign of Taurus in your 1st house. So with Mercury in your 12th house in the sign of Aries, the mind is definitely very active, but it may be a little bit more behind the scene active rather than being upfront. So when Mercury does move in your sign on the 10th of April, that will be time to really apply your mental prowess, to projecting yourself, using your logical mind, your intellect, your capabilities and all that to project yourself in the best possible manner. But in the first 10 days of the month of April, while Mercury is in your 12th house, this is the time to actually approach any conflict or any issues in your life in a more logical way and less conflicting way. You can use your communication skills, your intelligence, your logical mind to resolve any matters that needs resolving during this time. Now there is a focus on your 12th house in the month of April, in the first half of April especially. So the opportunity to let go of any kind of old patterns, things that are keeping you stuck, the things that is not helping you grow. This is a time to really apply your logical mind and get rid of all those old ways of thinking. Now in the first week of the month of April, Mercury in the 12th house, in your 12th house, will be aspecting Mars and Saturn, the sign of Aquarius, very harmoniously, because Aries is a fire sign, that's your 12th house, and Aquarius in your 10th house is an air sign. So you'll be very much focused on the plans that you have, the future plans that you have, the career plans that you have. And even though you're working behind the scene on these matters, you're definitely very focused, determined, and very structured about how you want to go ahead, what you want to achieve going forward. So Taurus, you definitely will be feeling very confident to pursue whatever your goals are, even though you may not put it out straight away especially the first half of the month of April, but you will definitely bring it all out as the month proceeds. So definitely there's a lot of supportive influence in terms of expressing yourself, being determined, putting in the action, putting in the work, the hard work, sustained effort and all that to move things forward. And you have the skills and capability as well to make things happen where your career matters are concerned. So, just keep going and don't give up, because there's so much emphasis on your sign, Taurus, for the entire year, because there's Uranus there, North Node there, and there's going to be solar eclipse on your, first and seventh house axis. So there's a lot of changes, transformation occurring this year in your sense of self and your relationship angle as well. So how you project yourself, your relationship with yourself, your priorities, your destiny, your self-image, all that is going through a lot of transformation this year, and it all kickstarts in the month of April. So this is the time to rethink with a logical mind, be focused, be proactive, and just put in the effort wherever you need to put in the effort, and you will see the results going forward. Now on the 8th of April, Jupiter in the sign of Pisces, which is your 11th house, is going to sextile North Node in your sign, in sign of Taurus, in your first house. So this is a great opportunity, and any past efforts, past goals, past opportunities may come back to you, and you may be able to use it to move ahead for material gain, for spiritual growth and all that, because Jupiter is to do with spiritual growth and material growth, both aspects. So in your 11th house is all to do with collaborations, your group work and all that, and that is going to enhance your sense of self, because North Node is in your first house, which is about learning, which is about focusing on yourself, growing yourself, and that's where the main focus is next 18 months since January this year. So with this Jupiter aspecting North Node, this is fantastic time to really push forward, and it's a very positive optimistic energy to get things rolling, whatever you want to, all those goals you have, all those plans you have, projects you have, to start moving those things forward during this time. Now Mercury moves in your sign, the sign of Taurus, on the 10th of April. So this is the time when your common sense comes into play. So you need to approach life, or everything, all aspects of life, because in your first house it has a ripple effect on all areas of life. So you need to use your common sense when making decisions, when you're approaching things, and whatever that might be, whether it's a relationship, whether it's financial matters, your home matters, your career matters, whatever that might be. This is a time to use a more tangible approach, a common sense kind of approach, and don't be in a fantasy land. Now Mercury in Taurus is not in a fantasy land situation anyways, because Taurus is a very earthy, tangible sign. It only recognizes things that's real and tangible. So Mercury here, your mind is definitely very much focused on how to move forward, how to make things happen for yourself, and develop that sense of self, whatever that destiny, priorities, whichever path you want to go on. Your mind is definitely very much focused in a very tangible, real way, from 10th April onwards towards the end of the month of April. So it's about like 2.5 to 3 weeks it's going to stay in your first house. So this is time to really project yourself, communicate whatever desires, whatever goals you have, however you want to project yourself. This is time to be very communicative, very social, very connect with people, interact with people, network with people. So it's all this is going to really help you grow moving forward, rest of the year as well, Taurus. Now Taurus, on the 11th of April, there is Saturn squaring the North Node in your first house. So your career matter and your sense of self, it's a kind of challenging aspect. Now you may feel this energy for the rest of the year as well, because Saturn will be in the sign of Aquarius in your 10th house, and North Node will be in your first house, in your sign. So you may feel this energy for the entire year as well, but in this month you will definitely feel a bit more strongly maybe. So all the efforts that you've been putting in terms of your career matters, your life destiny, your growth, your soul's purpose, whatever you're trying to achieve, you may feel a lot challenged to achieve those, whatever you're trying to achieve. When Saturn comes in contact with lunar nodes, it's a very karmic time. All the efforts, and this can be not just this life, it can be from previous life as well. All the efforts that you've been putting, how you have been putting, all that comes to the forefront. Your ethical approach, your principled approach. If you have been approaching your career matters from a more spiritual perspective and less egoistic space, then you will not feel much challenge during this time. But otherwise, you may feel challenge and lack of growth and sense of destiny, whatever you're trying to achieve, it might feel a bit challenged, slow, restrictive, limiting as well. And not just this month, for the rest of the year as well. So when Saturn comes in contact with your career matters and your self, your sense of self, it's time to understand the karmic overtone of this energy. Saturn and node is very karmic time. So it's very important to approach whatever you're trying to achieve in your career matter and yourself, just your entire life, in a more scrupulous, ethical, spiritual, and less egoistic space, less materialistic space. Now on the 12th of April, Jupiter is going to conjunct Neptune in the sign of Pisces in your 11th house. Now this is a very happy configuration. It's a really good time for spiritual development, self-development, personal development as well, especially when you're a place in the crowd or place in the group, or your teamwork, collaboration, whatever is concerned. This is a time to really approach these matters in a spiritual way, something that promotes your self-growth, something that promotes self-awareness, moving forward, your imagination and all that. This is a time you will be able to absorb these abstract ideas, these inspired, imaginative, artistic, creative ideas as well. So it's a good time to really merge all these ideas that's coming in your mind during this time and, present it in a collaboration, a group project, and be part of the crowd, be part of the team. So it's time to really merge all the ideas that's coming to your mind and present it and contribute in a group work through whatever you are thinking and whatever the inspiration are coming to your mind, and you will be able to contribute very healthily as well. You will be very helpful, and all this is going to lead to the growth, the gains, the whatever your goals and ambition, the achievement of that you're seeking going forward. Now in the middle of the month, Mars is going to enter the sign of Pisces and will join Venus, Jupiter, Neptune, all that in the sign of Pisces. So there's going to be a stellium in your 11th house. So again, your 11th house matter is coming to the forefront. So there's a lot of lucky, optimistic, growth, creative, determined, moving forward, proactive kind of energy where your social circle, your collaboration, your group work is concerned. So this is a great time to really move those things forward. So this is the time to really, move forward on those goals that you have. Now you may, with Mars in 11th house in the sign of Pisces, you may feel a little bit less energetic to pursue these social goals, because Pisces is a watery sign. It's about imagination, creativity, it's about retreating, it's about taking a break as well. So Mars in the sign of Pisces may feel the energy, you may feel low in energy in terms of your health, immune system and all that. So this is a time also to take care of your health as well. The full moon is going to be in the sign of Libra on the 16th of April, when there's a lot of focus on your work and health matters. So with this Mars moving in the sign of Pisces and your immune system and energy level coming into focus with the full moon in your 6th house, which is about work and health, there will be some kind of awareness coming or clarity coming regarding your work and health, your work and health balance, work and life balance. So if you're exerting too much energy on your work, your health, you need to look after your health as well, so that you don't feel the so that you don't feel overburdened, whatever effort you're putting in. So definitely this is a time to seek harmony and balance where your work and health matters are concerned, and take a break if you need to take a break from all the efforts that you've been putting, Taurus, all these time. You really want to move forward. There's so much energy in your sign, so you're definitely very determined to move forward to achieve those tangible goals. But it's also a good time, especially around this full moon in Libra, to look after yourself, to look after your health. Aries and Libra, which is cardinal energy, and your 12th and 6th house axis. So definitely there's a need to refine any kind of goals that you have. If you are exerting too much and you're not achieving those results that you want to, it's okay to take a break and revisit, reassess your goals and see if there's any changes that needs to be made, so that you can move forward with renewed energy. Now in the last couple of weeks, especially the last 10 days of the month of April, there's a lot of emphasis again in your career matters, your social circle, yourself as well. So the focus shifts from your 12th house to your first house, because the sun moves in the sign of Taurus as well on the 19th of April. So there's a lot of emphasis in your first house now, Taurus. With sun there, Mercury there, Uranus and North Node all in your first house. There's so much energy in your first house. And also towards the end of the month of April, on the 30th of April, there's going to be a solar eclipse, a partial solar eclipse, a new moon in your first house. So that is the time that on the end of the month of April, when everything about you is going to come to the forefront. There's going to be changes, transformation, turning points regarding how you are, what you're doing, and what you're doing. Now, if there's anything that needs to be changed, this is the perfect time by the end of the month of April to, introduce those fresh ideas, new beginning, approach things with a new mindset, new way of thinking. If things are not working out until now, Taurus, it's time to review those and bring in fresh energy on when the solar eclipse occurs in your sign. So Taurus, is a lot of emphasis on you, on the Taurus sign, on you this month and the rest of the year as well. Now, on the 29th of April, Pluto goes retrograde in the sign of Capricorn in your 9th house. Now, Mercury will make a square aspect. Now, Mercury does make a trine aspect with Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. So your first house and 9th house axis comes into play. Now, 9th house is about exploration, it's about new ideas, it's about belief system, your learning and traveling needs and all that. So definitely, if you need to take a break and you need to see things in a different way, maybe meet people, new people, interact with people you haven't interacted with before, all these is great energy. And maybe you will be thinking a lot about these things as well, opening new doors, new territories for yourself. Now, when Pluto does go retrograde towards the end of this month, that's a time when you're reassessing all your 9th house matter, because a transformation is taking place there. Transformation in your big picture, your perspective, how you see the big picture, it's going through a transformation for many years now, since 2008. But when Pluto goes retrograde, it's time to approach all your 9th house matter in a more ethical, scrupulous way. If there's any kind of past matters that is holding you back, if you want to change, if you want to experience new things and you're not able to do that, because Capricorn in your 9th house it makes you a little bit more conservative as well in terms of trying out new things. So this is going through a transformation. So definitely open yourself up to new opportunities, new territories, and take that leap of faith to transform yourself, to transform your mindset and all that. And that might bring you new opportunities, new encounters, maybe meeting new people. Maybe you can collaborate with people you haven't collaborated before, and all that can bring in this new growth, new opportunity, new personal development going forward, Taurus. So overall, Taurus, in the month of April 2022, there's a lot of focus on yourself, obviously, on your career matters and on your collaborations, your social circle, the group project that you're involved in. And there's a need for development, growth, transformation in all these aspects. Now, if you do feel challenged in achieving these areas, then what you need to do is you need to look at your inner motivations. You need to look at your sense of self-awareness, where you are leading all this from. Is it coming from an egoistic space, or is it coming from a more spiritual space? Because Saturn in your 10th house definitely does not respond well with leading something that is not karmically aligned with your sense of spirit, your spiritual side. You need to be principled, scrupulous, ethical when you're approaching your career matters, and then only you will see some kind of movement, especially because Saturn is going to be there for the rest of the year until next until March. So do approach your whatever you're trying to approach from a little bit more of an ethical space, a less egoistic space, and that will enhance your sense of self as well, because there's so much emphasis on yourself this entire year, Taurus. Hello, my lovely Geminis. For you, the month of April 2022 is going to be all about your social circle, collaboration, your professional matters, your career matters, your inner motivation as well, your sense of self-awareness, your need for personal development. And there's a lot of focus also on your need to explore, need to expand, and reach out those new territories, new horizons. Now on the very first day of April, the 1st of April, there is a new moon occurring in the sign of Aries. Now Aries is your 11th house, so that is your social circle, your collaborations, your group projects, your teamwork, your hopes and wishes. All that is a need for a fresh start. Now Geminis, do approach these matters with a new mindset, new approach, new way of thinking, because there's a lot of positive energy in terms of turning things around where your group project is concerned, where your collaboration is concerned, you working in a team, in the professional matters, or even business partnership, anything like that. This is a great time for fresh beginning in that area. Now Mercury is also in the sign of Aries in the first 10 days of April. So your thinking, your mindset, your approach, your skills, capability, all that is very much focused on your 11th house matter, is very much focused on having these fresh beginnings in your social matters, your social setting. There's a need for change and there's a need for new beginning, especially if things have not been working out in the current situation. This is a great time to put your mind, body, spirit, everything, apply all that energy to your social circle, to your collaboration, and bring in new energy in that. Maybe meet new people. New encounters will help you grow in terms of your what your projects, group projects that you want to sign up or you want to achieve, whatever your work, professional matters, professional project that you want to sign up. This is a great time to really look at these things with a new approach, and even be open to new encounters, new opportunities, new territories to move these things forward. Now Mars is in the sign of Aquarius in your 9th house in the first 2 weeks of the month of April, and there it's going to conjunct Saturn, which is already there in your in the sign of Aquarius in your 9th house. Now Mars coming together with Saturn in your 9th house, you will be very determined, proactive, and even willing to put the sustained, self-disciplined, structured effort in the pursuit of your goals, your 9th house goals, which is exploring, expanding, reaching out, trying out new things, traveling, learning. All those things is definitely very much there, and you will be probably very much on it to experience these things. Now Mercury is in the sign of Aries in the first 10 days of the month of April, and from there it's going to aspect planets in Aquarius, which is Mars and Saturn. So Mercury in your 11th house, in the house of social circle, with new opportunity, 9th house. So planets in your 11th and 9th house, which is about exploration, new territories, and new encounters, which is the 11th house in a group social circle. And when these two energies come together, you feel very confident, very motivated, very focused to achieve and pursue these long-term goals. And you're also very confident in terms of expressing yourself, whatever your communication style and all that is you're very determined, focused to put your best foot forward in terms of experiencing new areas of life and new territories, new collaborations, coming together with people for the purpose of professional growth, personal growth. So this is a great time to really use your communication style, your skills and capabilities, your just your ability, your approach, mindset, everything in pursuing your 9th house matter, which is to do with learning and traveling and exploring. So the first 10 days of April is a really good time to really put yourself out there, Geminis, and allow yourself to experience new things. Now Venus enters the sign of Pisces on the 5th of April and will form conjunctions with Jupiter and Neptune in the same sign, throughout the rest of the month, one by one. Now Venus in the sign of Pisces is actually a great position. Now in your 10th house, Pisces is your 10th house, which is career matters. So it's a very blessed and beneficial time for your career matters, most definitely. Now Jupiter is also there along with Neptune. So Jupiter is already bringing this expansive growth, upward movement in your career matters, and with Neptune there, you're very imaginative, inspired. Your public image, your reputation is all very much enhanced and growing as well. So it's a really beneficial time overall for your career matters with Venus, Jupiter and Neptune all in your career house. So with so much emphasis on your 10th house and your career matters, there is a great desire for expansion in terms of your career matters, and it's a healthy desire as well. It's not an egoistic space, because Pisces is about leading from a sensitive, compassionate space, more creative, artistic space. So advantages will come in your career matters, growth will come in your career matters going forward. So it's a good time to apply these energy proactively, sensitively, compassionately towards yourself and others as well, to approach things from a more spiritual space, understand your career aspect from a little bit more spiritual space. Now on the 8th of April, Jupiter in the sign of Pisces in your 10th house is going to form a harmonious aspect with North Node in the sign of Taurus. Now Taurus is your 12th house, so 12th house is all about creating self-awareness, looking at your inner motivation, your inner connectedness, how you, what motivates you, if there's anything holding you back, to release those energies as well. That's what North Node is doing. That's what North Node is all about, Geminis, for you for the next 18 months since January 2022. North Node in the 12th house is connecting yourself with your talents, capabilities, hidden talents and capabilities as well. All that is going to come to the surface. Now, when it sextiles Jupiter in the sign of Pisces in your 10th house, all these can be used to, achieve your career goals, whatever the upward movement that you want to achieve in your career matters. All these hidden capabilities, all these talents that you have, can't come to the surface, and you can really approach your career aspect in a healthy way. Even if it is material gains that you want to achieve, your approach is more sensitive and spiritual around this time, because North Node is a karmic point. It's to do with your subconscious, and 12th house is also your subconscious house. So you're definitely very much connected with your inner motivation, yourself, and this creates a lot of self-awareness as well with this 12th house North Node. Now on the 10th of April, Mercury is going to move in the sign of Taurus. So it's going to join this North Node, Uranus, all that is in your 12th house, the house of your inner motivation, your inner self, your subconscious self. So when Mercury moves in the sign of Taurus, with Taurus, Mercury in the sign of Taurus focuses on tangible goals. So while Mercury is in your 12th house, you may approach things in a more logical way rather than living in a kind of fantasy land. Now it is a 12th house, so there will be some kind of maybe energies of self-doubt may arise during this time, but it's very important to keep your focus and approach things logically, to whatever you want to achieve whatever career goals that you have. Now Mercury, while it's in the 12th house, is going to conjunct Uranus and North Node in the 12th house. Also, it will form harmonious sextile aspect with planets in the sign of Pisces in your 10th house, which is Jupiter, Neptune and Venus. Besides these harmonious and supportive aspects, it's also going to form a challenging aspect with Saturn in the sign of Aquarius in your 9th house. So there is overall really positive energy around your Mercury matters, around applying your mind to achieve these tangible goals, but you may feel a kind of a restlessness, or things may feel limiting or moving slowly in terms of those new territories, those new opportunities that you want to explore, that you want to expand in. So there may be some kind of limitations to your traveling needs, learning needs, if you have any of those, or just expansion. If maybe you want to travel for a purpose to enhance your career, or to for professional gains, whatever that might be, and you may feel limited in those areas during this time. So it's important to stay focused, structured, self-disciplined, because even if there is some kind of miscommunication in terms of your expansion needs or exploration, trying new territories out, it's very important to stay focused and structured, because there is a lot of emphasis, positive emphasis as well from these planets in your 10th house. So you may have career movement and collaboration, group project, all these things may move forward, but your need to expand beyond what you're currently doing may be met with some kind of limitations and restrictions in the month of April. So it's definitely important to stay focused, put in the sustained effort, and stay self-disciplined, and things will open up moving forward. Now Geminis, on the 14th of April, Mars moves in the sign of Pisces. Now there's already so much emphasis in your 10th house, in the Pisces house, with Venus, Jupiter, Neptune, all those planets in there already. Now Mars also joins this stellium, so it brings a lot of determined energy to your career matters. Now Pisces is a watery sign, and Mars in the sign of Pisces may feel a bit held back in terms of the action that it wants to take in your career matters. So you may feel the efforts that you're trying to put is not completely reaping you results, or the outcome that you are hoping for, the goals and ambitions that whatever you have, you want to put in effort, you're very determined, but you're not able to move that forward. Or you may be approaching all these goals from a more spiritual perspective now, or there's a need to approach your goals from a spiritual perspective, because Mars in Pisces is about exploring your spiritual side, your subconscious side, looking at your inner motivations, subconscious motivations. If you feel held down, if you feel held back because of this Pisces energy, especially in the last couple of weeks of the month of April, then the best way forward is to go beyond the traditional goals that you have and look at your career ambitions, your just whatever you want, the life direction that you are in, from a spiritual point, because Mars in Pisces is kind of a spiritual warrior kind of energy. So you can achieve whatever you want, but you need to maybe look at things from a less egoistic space and more from an ethical, scrupulous and spiritual space going forward. Now on the 16th of April, there's going to be a full moon in the sign of Libra in your 5th house. Now 5th house is all to do with your creativity, the recreational activities, need for romance and love, and your children as well. So there will be some kind of awareness or need for harmony, balance in the way you express yourself, your creative side, your creative project, your solo projects and all that as well. Now 5th house, now Aries is your 11th house and 5th house is Libra. So there's a need for balancing your group project, your place in the crowd, your place in the collective, in the teamwork, and your own solo project, your own solo expression around this full moon in Libra. Now Gemini, the last couple of weeks in the month of April, there's a lot of action happening because there's a lot of emphasis on Taurus energy and your 12th house. Now Sun will be moving the sign of Taurus in your 12th house, and also there's a solar eclipse occurring in your 12th house on the 30th of February, which is right at the end of the month. So a solar eclipse in your 12th house is opportunity to transform your your self-awareness, your sense of self-awareness. If there's anything lying under the surface that you need to resolve, anything that's holding you back, anything that is limiting you, this is the time to look at these matters in a fresh perspective and bring in new energy and a transformation. Now solar eclipse is kind of an amplified version of a new moon. Now new moon is a time when you have new beginnings, fresh start. So with a solar eclipse occurring, this is a very transformative time, a kind of a turning point, and you may have some kind of sudden event, sudden closure, past events, past patterns may come to surface, and you will have to deal with it towards the end of the month of April. Now Gemini, before the month ends, Pluto is going to go retrograde in the sign of Capricorn, and Capricorn is your 8th house. Now a day before it goes retrograde, is going to trine Mercury in the sign of Taurus. Now Mercury is in the sign of Taurus and Pluto in the sign of Capricorn, so it's going to trine just before Pluto goes retrograde. So your 12th house and 8th house matter are harmoniously linked during this time. So this is a very mentally intense time for transformation as well. And with your 12th house and 8th house, which both are hidden houses, anything that's lying under the surface will bubble up to the top, and you'll have to deal with it. And it can be to do with your subconscious pattern, your inner motivations, any past pattern, anything that needs to resolving. And it may have some connection with your shared values, your finances, your connection, collaboration, the money you make in a business partnership, or the money you make through other people. So all that will come to the surface most definitely before the month ends. Now when Pluto does go retrograde on the 29th of April, what's going to happen is the transformation that Pluto is bringing to your 8th house matter over many years is going to go a bit more. You will have to go within for answers and resolutions. So you'll have to approach your 8th house matter in a way that it promotes healing and transformation, and you will have to go within to find resolution, to find answers. So anything that is triggering you, or any kind of past issues or traumas, anything linked to your 8th house matter needs to be resolved so that you can move forward. Now Mercury moves in the sign of Gemini on the 29th of April, so it's going to be in your sign in the 1st house. So this is a very sociable, very communicative time, Geminis, and Mercury is your ruler. So in your 1st house, it's a great time to project yourself, communicate, be curious, be sociable, network, really put yourself out there to achieve whatever you want to achieve, going forward. So Gemini, overall, the month of April, there's a lot of focus on your career matters, on your need for exploration, on your social group projects, collaboration. There's a need to release any stuck energy, past energy, especially if it's holding you back. And also there's a need to look at what motivates you, what are your value system, and how that balances with your need for self-expression, your creativity, showing your creativity, projecting your creativity, and what is valuable to you, Geminis. Cancer, for you in the month of April 2022, there's going to be a lot of focus on your career matters and your social circle, your shared resources, shared finance, also your need for exploration. So the major focus in the month of April will be in these matters. So you will be putting in a lot of energy in your career matters, in your collaboration, social circle, your group, your teamwork, wherever you work, your professional atmosphere, your professional gains, your hopes and wishes. Also Cancer, for you, there is a need for exploration, to expand your horizon, to experience new things. And this energy is there since the beginning of this year 2022, since January 2022. But in the month of April is going to become even more intense. You will feel the need to break free, the need to explore, the need to understand, recognize your life purpose, your soul path, where you're heading, your life directions and all that. And your home matters and relationship comes in this mix as well in the month of April. So your career, your social circle, your shared resources, shared finances, your self-worth, your home matters, family members, relationship, and also your inner motivation, your subconscious motivation. So this is the theme for you, Cancer, in the month of April. Now the month begins with a new moon in the sign of Aries, right in your 10th house, in the house of your career. Now this is the golden chance, Cancer, to look at your career matter in a new perspective. So bring in new energy. Now if you have been on a set path until now, this is the time to look at your career matters in a renewed way, with a renewed mindset, and also bring in new fresh energy in your career matters. If you feel stuck, or if you feel there's no growth taking place, you're just stuck in one place, you're not growing, you're not evolving. So this Aries new moon is perfect time for you to review, reassess, reevaluate your career matters, and bring in this fresh new energy for the entire year, because the Aries new moon is kind of a kickstarting the astrological new year. So for the rest of the year, this new energy, the mindset that you can bring during this Aries new moon on the 1st of April, you will see the energy unfold, over the entire year. So definitely do look at your career matters in a renewed light. Now Cancer, in the first week of April itself, there's going to be a lot of emphasis on the Aquarius sign as well, besides Aries sign. Now Aquarius is your 8th house of shared values, shared resources, joint finances. So Saturn is already transiting your 8th house in the sign of Aquarius. Now Mars is also in the sign of Aquarius during the first week of the month of April. And Mars and Saturn will form a conjunction on the 4th of April in your 8th house. Now when Mars and Saturn comes together, what it means is that you need to put strong determination, sustained effort, continuous effort to achieve your goals in your 8th house matter. So if you got any kind of goals regarding building resources together, or investing in money together, you need to persevere and keep moving forward in terms of the resources that you're building, the opportunities that are coming your way, to utilize those opportunities, to capitalize those energies. You need to be more determined, maybe reassess your moves, what you're taking. You need to re-strategize your plan, what your goals are, how you want to proceed, and just keep moving, because Mars is action, ambition, goals, determination, and Saturn, wherever Saturn goes, it crystallizes the energy related to that house. So Saturn is in your 8th house since the end of December 2020 and will be there till March 2023. So it's crystallizing all the 8th house matter. It's asking you to be realistic, be practical in your 8th house matter approach. So with Mars coming in there, you will feel a bit more determined, a bit more kind of wanting to take action, more enthusiastic about that. Now be mindful not to take any kind of financial decision without any forethought. So definitely whatever you are trying to achieve in your shared finances, building resources together, It's a great time to put in effort, but be mindful not to lose focus in what you're trying to build. Now, Mercury is in the sign of Aries in the first week of the month of April. In fact, the first 10 days of the month of April, Mercury is going to be in the sign of Aries. Now, in the first week of April, Mercury in the sign of Aries in the 10th house is going to form harmonious aspect with Mars and Saturn in your 8th house. So your 10th house and 8th house matter are aligned during the first week of the month of April. So it's a great time to build resources, to understand your value. So this is a great time to increase your financial standing, to ask what you're worth, because 8th house is about what you bring to the table, what your contribution are in terms of the value you bring, financial value you bring, and 10th house is your career matter. So the planets are quite nicely aligned. So this is a great time to really increase or plan your move, plan the goals, of financial goals that you have moving forward, Cancer. Now, planet Venus will enter the sign of Pisces on the 5th of April, in the first week of April itself. So Venus in the sign of Pisces is actually quite a nice position. It's a good position. Venus is considered exalted in the sign of Pisces. So it brings the creativity, imagination, artistic side of you, the creative side of you, the talent, all that, the need to have a good life, the need to have a happy, fulfilling kind of life, luxurious life is brought to the Piscean energy, which is about need to have a retreat, get away, relax, rejuvenate and all that. And, even imagination and inspiration, the creative inspiration that come your way during this time is going to be really fruitful and will give you this inner contentment, even subconscious motivation to, go after the goals that you have. You may get inspired during this time, maybe some kind of epiphany or something, ideas or thoughts can come your way, which can be utilized in your career matters, to increase your finances, to work in a group, or collaborate with people and all. So it's definitely a good time to pay attention to your creativity, your dreams, your imagination, whatever comes, inspirations and all, and put them into action or plan them going forward, Cancer. Now, Jupiter is already in the sign of Pisces in your 9th house. So it's already motivating you to travel, explore, learn, engage with people you haven't engaged before, experience new things, try new territories, keep yourself open basically. Now, Jupiter in your house of exploration is going to connect with the North Node in the sign of Taurus, which is your 11th house, which is about your collaboration, or new encounters, connecting with new people. So 9th house and 11th house energy, which is about exploring new territories, and 11th house, which is about group work and new encounters and your professional gains, hopes and wishes. So both these energies are very beautifully aligned the first week of April itself, but you'll feel the energy for the rest of the year, going forward as well, especially if you have taken some action during this time and put in some kind of plans in motion during this time. Definitely you'll feel this energy, because when Jupiter and North Node comes together in a harmonious aspect, it's a great time to expand, and also expand through the beneficial, enhancing good deeds that you have done in the past. The past opportunities can be utilized during this time. The past efforts can be utilized beautifully to move forward, to grow, to focus on the future, moving forward, especially where your 9th house and 11th house energies are concerned, Cancer. Now, Mercury will move in the sign of Taurus on the 10th of April. When it enters Taurus, it will conjunct Uranus and North Node both in the month of April, throughout the month of April. So this is an amazing time to really put your skills, capabilities, your ideas, your, whatever comes to your mind, your talents and all into action, and use it to progress yourself, to change, to shift energies in your life, especially where your 11th house matter is concerned, because Taurus is your 11th house, which is about collaboration. So maybe connect with new people, collaborate with new people, connect with new groups, new team, in order to move forward, Cancer. And this is a great time to move in that direction as well, because North Node is in your 11th house, and that's where your energy needs to be focused on. That's where you need to grow during these 18 months while North Node is in your 11th house. So you're definitely eager for new encounters, growth, and moving forward during this time. And while Mercury is in the sign of Taurus, which is a very earthy, sensible kind of sign, The steps that you take will be a lot more focused, will be connected with the physical, material, materialistic side of life. So you're definitely, whatever you're collaborating in, whatever you're connecting in terms of your group and teamwork, or professional matters, career matters, you're definitely making decisions from a material point of view as well, in terms of growing financially as well, most definitely, Cancer. Now there is a lot of positive energy in your Taurus sign, in your 11th house matter, but just be mindful because Saturn is in your 8th house in the sign of Aquarius, and it is squaring all the planets in the sign of Taurus, because Aquarius and Taurus are fixed signs, and planets in these houses, these signs, square each other, and square is a challenging aspect, is an uneasy aspect. So maybe the efforts that you're putting, the life direction that you're pursuing, the destiny, the path, whatever you're pursuing during this time, especially in terms of your collaboration, professional matters, professional gains, you may have difficulty achieving them. Now whenever there's a square aspect in the planetary energies, the most important thing is to channel your energy, refocus your energy. If something is not working, especially in your 8th house and 11th house matter, which is your shared finances, you need to build resources together, your need to grow financially together is being met with challenges because of your collaboration or teamwork, group work is not reaping any reward, or is not giving you any positive outcome. It's important to rechannel your energy, refocus. Maybe the path you're taking or the way you're doing things is not working, so you need to do it in a different way. Now Saturn is also asking you to be realistic in terms of your goals and ambitions. So even though you want the world for you, you need to lead from a more realistic, practical point of view, Cancer, so that you can achieve the maximum for yourself. Now in the middle of the month, on the 12th of April, Jupiter is going to conjunct Neptune in your 9th house. So this is fantastic, beautiful energy for your exploration needs, for your need to expand, to explore your belief system, your mindset, to really, understand your philosophy and explore your philosophy by experiencing the world, by experiencing or interacting with new people you haven't interacted before, especially from different cultures, different backgrounds and all that, and also to learn, to grow, to understand other people's perspective as well. This is going to be a really beneficial, growth inducing, enhancing, progressive time for your spiritual development as well, because Jupiter and Neptune, when it comes together, it's about enhancing your spiritual side, growing your spiritual side, and maybe traveling and connecting with people, different people, is going to help you grow spiritually in the middle of the month. And even before that. In fact, in the entire month of April, you will feel this energy, Cancer. Now on the 14th of April, Mars enters the sign of Pisces, which is your 9th house. Now when Mars comes in the 9th house, is actually a great position for your exploration need, but it's in the sign of Pisces. Now Pisces is a water sign, Cancer, so Mars in a water sign may feel less motivated, especially if it's in a Pisces sign, which is about compassion, sympathy. It's about taking a break, retreating. It's about slowing down and looking at things that are less materialistic in life and looking at things more spiritually. So when Mars enters the sign of Pisces, it may feel less motivated to go after the goals. So during this, in the middle of the month, you may feel a little bit drained, tired, or low in energy. So you may be less motivated to pursue the goals or the ambitions that you have during this time. Now there's a full moon on the 16th of April in the sign of Libra, which is your 4th house. Now your home matters, family members, just your living condition, your emotional and physical foundation, all that, your need for security, where you find security, where you find stability. All these themes are spotlighted in the middle of the month. So a full moon is a time of culmination, release, fulfillment, a gratification, moving on from that energy by understanding, because there's so much spotlight on that energy. Now in the sign of Libra, you will have this need for harmony, balance in your home life. So this is a great time to bring that energy in your home life. Now Cancer, if there's anything in your home environment or with the family members that's hindering this balance, the balance that you seek in your home, if it's something is in the way or is an obstacle, then this is a time to really look at things from either perspective, from both sides, because Libra is about looking at all perspective before making a decision to find harmony and balance. So this is the time to channel your energy, Cancer, in a way to lead from a more impartial kind of point of view, and seeking balance and harmony during this time, Cancer. Now in the third week of April, Cancer, there's going to be a lot of interaction between the planets in the sign of Taurus, which is your 11th house, and planets in the sign of Pisces, which is your 9th house. So there's again a lot of harmonious communication happening with the Pisces and Taurus energies. Now you have Jupiter, Neptune, Venus in the sign of Pisces, and then there's Mercury, Uranus, and North Node in the sign of Taurus. So all these are really happy. So all these planets are actually very positive, less stressful energy. So definitely a great time, even in the third week of April, to explore, expand, reach out, expand your mindset, open yourself to new experiences, new people, new encounters, new opportunities, new collaborative setup, work opportunities, career opportunities. So Cancer, in the last couple of weeks of the month of April, you will have this harmonious energies of the planets in Pisces sign and Taurus sign connecting together, and it's quite beautiful energies in the last 2 weeks, but you'll feel the energy for the whole month, especially from the second week onwards, most definitely. Now Cancer, in the last week of the month of April, Pluto is going to go retrograde, and it's in the sign of Capricorn in your 7th house. Now just before it goes retrograde, is going to aspect Mercury in the sign of Taurus and forming a very harmonious trine aspect. So just a day before, so 29th of April is when Pluto goes retrograde, and 28th April is when Mercury is going to trine Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. So Mercury and Pluto together is about intensity. It's about intensity in your relationship matters. Now with Mercury aspecting Pluto, your mindset, your thinking is quite intense. You're very persuasive. This is a great time to ask for favors if you need favors, especially in collaborations or in your one-to-one interaction, business partnership or anything. So this is a great time to build that relationship as well going forward, and you will feel the transformative energy in your relationship matter. And this is not just personal, even business. So any one-to-one interaction, you're going to feel this intensity over the next 5 months while Pluto is retrograde. Now when Pluto is retrograde, the energy is turned within. So Pluto is asking you to focus on your inner transformation where your relationship is concerned, and not just be only overly externally focused. So the relationship transformation that occurs during these 5 months while it's in retrograde is stemming from your own internal transformation, regeneration, how you see yourself, what is your inner motivation in a relationship, how you look at it, and how you approach a relationship. So that's definitely there. So that's definitely starts in the month of April. Now towards the last few days of the month of April, Cancer, there is a new moon in the sign of Taurus and a solar eclipse. So a solar eclipse is a very amplified energy of the new moon. So new moon is a time for new beginnings. Now in the sign of Taurus in your 11th house, which is about your social circle, to Cancer, you will experience massive shift during this time. So just be ready for the transformation that's coming, or the shifting of energy that's coming during this new moon. So this is the best time to bring in new energy, new minds, how you're approaching your collaborations, your teamwork, your group, professional matters, your professional gains and all that, and all the plans that you have for future. This is a time to look at it again, and bring in new energy, bring in fresh energy to move forward for the rest of the year, because because eclipses are on your 11th and 5th house axis in this year. So Taurus and Scorpio axis are very much spotlighted during the entire year, because you're going to have eclipses on this axis. So definitely it's about your contribution, your role in the group, your what you bring to the table, and your own solar projects, your own energies, your own self-expression and all that. So there's a need for balance during this year, definitely. So Cancer, overall the month of April is great time to be open, be broad-minded, explore, connect with people, take on new opportunities, move forward, but approach all these energies from a realistic point of view, growth inducing, something that is more structured, self-disciplined, moving forward, but it's also stable and practical, so that you can get the maximum out of whatever you want to achieve going forward, the goals and ambition that you have, whether it's in terms of your finances, whether it's in terms of your shared finances, your career matters, your group matters, your social circle, your group projects, your home environment, relationship, whatever that might be. So definitely be open-minded and try out new things, most definitely, but lead from a little bit more realistic space, Cancer. Leos, for you in the month of April 2022, there's going to be a lot of focus on your ninth house. That's where the sign of Aries is, and also your 10th house, which is your career house. That's your Taurus. So there's a lot of focus on your need for exploration, adventure, expanding your mind, connecting with new people, your belief system, your philosophies, your life purpose, also your need to learn, expand your mind basically. And also there's a lot of focus on your career matters, your life direction, your vocation, your calling in life, where you're heading and all that. So the month beginning with a lot of Aries energy, which is a fellow fire sign Leo. So it's quite a good energy to begin with. Now there's going to be a lot of focus on your shared finances, shared values, your relationship, and also, the way you connect and communicate and network with people. So definitely a lot of focus on your 7th house, 8th house, 9th house, and 10th house. So your relationship, your shared values, shared finances, your need for exploration, and your career matters, Leos. Now the month of April begins with a new moon in the sign of Aries in your 9th house. So this is a great time to, seek that adventure, to explore, expand, grow, seek that new energy, seek that new experience, new people, new territories, new contacts, new encounters, all that. Just bring in those energies. Also approach these matters with a fresh eyes, fresh perspective, and keep yourself open. Don't close yourself down, Leo. Now you are a fixed sign, so you may be overly focused on one thing and you may miss out on the wider world, the bigger picture and all that. So definitely this is the time to bring in this fresh energy regarding your 9th house matter. Now 9th house is also to do with travel, so this is a great time to plan somewhere to go on a travel, trip, take a trip, holiday, vacation, or long distance travel, mostly because 9th house is a long distance travel energy. It's energy to go abroad, connect with new people, different cultures. So Leos, this is the perfect time to set any new ideas regarding your 9th house matter into motion, into action, because Aries is about taking action, moving forward. And in your 9th house, it's perfect time to, get that ball rolling in terms of traveling, learning, exploring, expanding, whatever you want to do, get that ball rolling in that direction. Now, in the first week of April, there's going to be a lot of focus on the sign of Aquarius, because Saturn is already in the sign of Aquarius in your 7th house, and Mars also conjuncts Saturn over there. So there's a Mars and Saturn energy in your 7th house. Now what Saturn is doing in your relationship house, in your interaction house, it's crystallizing your relationship, it's stabilizing it, it's asking you to approach your relationship from a practical realistic space, rather than being unrealistic in your approach when you interact in your relationship. And this is not just personal relationship, it's also business relationship. So any social interaction, Saturn energy is all about practical, realistic approach. Now when Mars joins Saturn together, now Mars and Saturn is kind of an opposing energy, because Mars is action, going forward, and Saturn is more delay, restriction, holding yourself back and being a little bit more serious and cautious in your approach. Now when Mars joins Saturn in your 7th house, it's about bringing more passion in relationship, more ambition in relationship, more enthusiasm, more determination to move forward. Now Saturn is a stabilizing energy in the 7th house during this time. Now Mars brings in that action. Now Mars can also bring conflicts and confrontation in relationship during this time. So it's definitely advisable to look at what you're trying to achieve, where you're going, and be a little bit more balanced with the 7th house energy. Approach things a little bit more in a balanced way, Leos. There is a need for getting past the petty issues and conflicts, and balancing your life around the way you connect, the way you network, the way you interact, social interaction, overall everything. And this is not just personal relationship, just overall in your life, whomever, close ties, close relationship, spousal relationship, committed relationship, business relationship, all these energy, it's a good idea to approach from a more balanced and realistic space. Now, Mercury is in the sign of Aries in the first 10 days of the month of April, and it's going to form a very harmonious aspect with planets in the sign of Aquarius. Now, Aries is your 9th house and Aquarius is your 7th house. So you are very focused on future plans, on future opportunities, exploring new territories, and you're bringing this energy in your social interaction. You're bringing this energy in the way you communicate in a social setup with your whomever you are connected with during this time. You are very focused in terms of moving forward. You're very hopeful. You're very wide-eyed, and you're very focused on that future. So you're very expressive as well during this time. Maybe having those honest conversation, expressive conversation in your relationship, planning for the future. Because 9th house is this energy of moving away from your current situation, exploring and expanding. And with the 7th house, it's about bringing in your social interaction in that mix as well. So it's a good energy in the first week of April to plan together whatever future aspirations you have, Leos. Now, in the first week of April, Venus moves in the sign of Pisces. On the 5th of April, it moves in the sign of Pisces. Now, Jupiter and Neptune is already in the sign of Pisces, and Leos, for you, Pisces is your 8th house. So it's about shared finances and shared resources. So when Venus moves in the sign of Pisces in your 8th house, Leos, it's actually a very beneficial, very good, progressive, happy energy for your finances, for your joint finances, for your shared resources. So you can definitely expect some kind of monetary movements, some financial movements, especially jointly held resources. If you're building resources together, this Jupiter, Neptune, Venus all together in your 8th house is going to bring some kind of divine help, some divine intervention, some kind of positive energy in your 8th house matter. And this energy is for the entire month of April. So even if it doesn't happen in the first week of April, you can expect this energy for the rest of the month as well. Now, Mercury moves in the sign of Taurus on the 10th of April. Now, Taurus is your 10th house, the house of your career, and Uranus and North Node is already in your 10th house. So there's a lot of focus on your 10th house matter since the beginning of this year, when North Node moved in the sign of Taurus, and Uranus is already there for a few years now. So Leos, you're already experiencing this change in career direction, life direction, whatever your vocation, calling in life, you're connecting with it more on a spiritual level rather than materialistic level, because North Node is a karmic energy, is a karmic point. So whenever it transits a house, it brings in that spiritual energy, the need to connect with that energy on a spiritual level more than egoistic level. So definitely you are going through that transformation, Leos. Now, when Mercury joins in the north, when Mercury comes together with Uranus and North Node in your 10th house, this is a great time to really be a little bit more focused, realistically focused, because Taurus is this fixed earthy energy. So Mercury in the Taurus sign in your 10th house is asking you to focus your energy more concretely in your career matters during this time. And Taurus is a little bit more focused on the material side of life. So it's asking you to grow in your career matters, but also keep an eye on your, what you are achieving on a material level as well. Now, planets in the sign of Taurus in your 10th house is going to form aspects with planets in the sign of Pisces and also the planets in the sign of Aquarius in the month of April. So Leos, with the Pisces energy and Taurus energy coming together, because it's earth and water energy, so your 8th house and 10th house energy is coming together, and it's more harmonious, more happily aligned energy. So Mercury, Uranus, North Node, and Venus, Jupiter, and Neptune in the sign of Pisces are all beautifully aligned. So you can expect growth in financial matters, career matters, shared resources, whatever you're trying to achieve on a external level, on the world stage, your public reputation, your public image, all that can, you can experience enhancement, growth, spiritual growth as well. Now, Saturn is in the sign of Aquarius in your 7th house, which will square the planets in the sign of Taurus in your 10th house. So there is an uneasy aspect between how you're interacting with people, your relationship, your social interaction, and your career matters. So you may feel a bit of restriction, or the efforts that you're putting in may not reap rewards straight away in your career matters because of this Saturn squaring the North Node in your 10th house matter. But Leos, when Saturn and North Node forms an aspect, even if it's a difficult aspect, the important thing to do during this time, Leos, is to connect with your goals, your career goals, whatever life direction you're wanting to go on in a more spiritual, karmic, because it's a very karmic time. Saturn is a karmic planet, so this is the time to put in that sustained effort to keep going at your goals, whatever life direction you want to take, whatever goals you have, ambitions you have. Keep pushing yourself, keep moving, and be realistic and practical in your approach while you are pursuing that career matter. So definitely it's a great energy at the end of the day. If you focus or channel your energy constructively, you can achieve a lot during this phase, Leos. Now on the 12th of April, Jupiter conjuncts Neptune in your 8th house. So this is the pinnacle of the growth and the good energy in your 8th house matter that you can expect, Leo. So definitely 8th house is about your financial matters, especially your unearned money, other people's money you gain from other people. So this is definitely a great time. You can expect some kind of movement, some kind of monetary advantage, material gain advantage, financial advantage coming your way during this time. And also Mars moves into the sign of Pisces, so there's Venus already there, and Jupiter and Neptune all in your 8th house for the rest of the month as well. The energy will be there, and Venus also joins in with Jupiter and Neptune towards the end of the month before it leaves the sign of Pisces. All that is really good, beneficial, enhancing time, growth inducing time regarding your resources, shared resources. Now on the 14th of April, Mars enters the sign of Pisces. Now in the sign of Pisces, Mars can feel a bit less motivated to pursue the goal. So if you are trying to build resources together, or you're trying to increase your finances together, putting in effort, maybe investing, or coming together in a union for mutually benefiting financial kind of growth or situation, you are coming together to achieve that, you may feel a bit less motivated or low in energy to pursue these goals. But with Mars in the sign of Pisces in your 8th house, it's a very spiritual, transformative time as well, because 8th house is a Scorpio energy, it's a house of transformation, and Pisces is about spiritual. So spiritual transformation, you will be very much enthusiastic and eager to have that spiritual transformation through joint financial, those matters. So definitely overall, it's going forward, it's a good energy, definitely, Leos. Now in the middle of the month of April, the 16th of April, there's a full moon in the sign of Libra and in your 3rd house. So 3rd house is about communication, connecting, your job, your business, all these matters, networking, close ties, all that. So you will, and full moon is to do with culmination, release, fulfillment, gratification, or getting a clearer understanding of those energies to be able to move forward. So definitely in the middle of the month of April, there's some kind of revelation coming in terms of how you connect with people, how you communicate, your mindset, your outlook, all that. You will go through a kind of a shift in terms of, or you will come to a realization, release as well. And if there are any stuck energy in terms of how you think, all that is going to be released moving forward, Leos. And with a full moon in Libra, there's a need to find a balance, harmony, and approach things from a little bit more impartial space, and seek refinement in your approach, how you communicate, how be a little bit more graceful and sensitive to how you communicate with people. Now Leos, in the last couple of weeks of the month of April, there's going to be again a lot of focus on the Pisces energy and Taurus energy in your chart. So again, 8th house and 10th house career matters, and your shared resources comes into play. In fact, not just the month of April, you have these energies since the beginning of the year, but in the month of April, things starts to shift. You'll feel the energy, you'll feel the enthusiasm to go after your goals, to have those you will see some movement, because until now you had that energy, but there were restrictions as well to your progress because of uncertainty or blockages in the way. But in the month of April, Leos, definitely things are going to move. And when the month of May begins, when Jupiter moves in the sign of Aries, you will definitely see a lot more movement. But April is the month when things starts to kickstart for you, Leos. Now the planets are very well aligned in the month of April with your 8th house matter and 10th house matter. So this is a perfect time to, approach your goals in a realistic way and really, go after your goals. And this will help you enhance, or, even materially, spiritually, in every way you can imagine. This is a great time to kickstart that energy. And, you will see the results in due course, throughout the year, Leos. Now Venus is in the sign of Pisces, and towards the last couple of weeks of the month of April is going to conjunct Neptune and Jupiter. So this is a beautiful time for creativity, artistic endeavors, love, harmony, romance, peaceful endeavors as well. Just coming together of this Venus, Neptune and Jupiter together towards the last couple of months of the month of April, you will feel so much more happily aligned in terms of your money matters, in terms of your love, just a balance, more harmony in life. And all these, you'll feel the progress as well moving forward in your 8th house matter as well, because all Pisces is your 8th house. So energy stemming from 8th house is going to give you gratification, fulfillment, joy, happiness, peace, and all that moving forward, Leos. Now Pluto goes retrograde on the 29th of April in the sign of Capricorn, which is your 6th house. But just before it goes retrograde, it aspects Mercury in the sign of Taurus. So Taurus is the 10th house of career, and 6th house is Capricorn, of your work matters, your daily lives. So when 10th house and 6th house planets align beautifully, this is a great time to, really work hard, really move forward, and, change things, your daily life structure, the way you structure your day in a more, well-aligned way, harmonious way to achieve your career goals. And you will have this transformative energy of Pluto helping you to, bring that transformation in your, daily life, your structure, so that you can accommodate your growing career needs, your life direction, the new life direction you're heading. You will be able to manage things much better on a daily basis, where your career matters are concerned, and your just daily life, work, health matters, all that is concerned. You'll be able to, align that energy, these energies, much in a more controlled, more structured way. Now, when Pluto goes retrograde on the 29th of April for the next 5 months, this transformation, the spiritual transformation you will experience this in your 6th house matter, which is your work and health matter. So you're going to see this regeneration in your 6th house matter. So this is the time to approach things in a more principled, more scrupulous way, a more spiritual way. The transformation needs to come from inside you, in the inner transformation, and this will lead to, inner contentment and fulfillment going forward. Now on the 30th of April, there's a solar eclipse in the sign of Taurus, a new moon in the sign of Taurus in your 10th house. So you will definitely experience some shift, some movement, a new energy in your career matters. Now eclipses are occurring on the Taurus and Scorpio axis in the year 2022. So your 10th house and 4th house matters are definitely shifting, transforming for the entire year. So definitely there's going to be some kind of shift in your career matters, new energy in your career matters. And also going forward, when the eclipse occurs in your Scorpio sign in your 4th house, there's going to be some kind of transformation shift occurring in your 4th house matter as well. So in the month of April, and towards the end of the month of April, there's definitely a great chance for this, bringing this shift, new energy, new mindset in your career matters. And all the efforts that you have been putting, Leos, you will see some kind of growth, movement, just fresh energy where your life direction is concerned. So overall, Leos, in the month of April 2022 for you, there's a lot of focus on your finances, on your career, on your relationship matters, your home matters as well, and the way you communicate, the way you structure your day, your work, your health matters, everything. So it's a good idea to approach this from a more principled, spiritual, and more practical way, and just keep yourself open to love and happiness and fulfillment and joy as well, because all these are definitely coming your way in the month of April as well, Leos. Virgos, for you in the month of April 2022, there's going to be a lot of focus for you on the 8th house and 9th house matter. Now 8th house is where your Aries sign sits, and 9th house is where your Taurus sign sits. Now 8th house is to do with shared finances and shared resources and your shared value system. and the ninth house is about exploration, adventure, need to expand your mind, take on new opportunities, explore new territories, and just travel and learn, and just be out in the open world, and just be out there in the open world. Now the Pisces sign is also very much highlighted in the month of April, and it's been a focus since the beginning of January as well. Now Virgo's Pisces is your opposite sign, so that's your seventh house. Relationship matters comes into focus in the month of April as well. Now the sixth house is also in focus in the month of April, because there's Mars and Saturn, the sign of Aquarius, and which is your sixth house. So Virgos, there's a lot of focus on your work matters, your health matters, your relationship, your shared resources, shared finances, shared values, your value system, and also your need to, have an adventure, to explore, to do things that you haven't done before. So this is your April 2022 energy. Now the month of April begins with a new moon in the sign of Aries. Right on the 1st of April, there's a new moon in the sign of Aries for you. So that's your 8th house matter coming into focus straight away. Now Mercury is also in the sign of Aries along with this sun and moon energy. So the first 10 days of the month of April is going to be a lot of focus on your 8th house matter, which is about your value system, your shared value system. Need to explore your joint resources, opportunities, mutually benefiting financial opportunities, even social finances. If there's the loans, the taxes, all these things, the debt, if you have, there's an opportunity to repay those as well, or have new energy, new fresh start in these matters as well. So if you have something to repay during this time, you can definitely experience some kind of new beginning, or just your mindset. Maybe you will see things differently in the first week of the month of April. Now in the first week of April 2022, Virgos, Mars is conjunct Saturn in the sign of Aquarius in your 6th house. So that's your work and health matters coming into play. Now Saturn has been in your 6th house, the sign of Aquarius, since December 2020 and will be there until March 2023. So it's already crystallizing, structuring, building your work and health matters. Now you may have faced delays and restlessness and restriction in terms of your the goals that you have regarding your work and health matters, and you may be feeling restless because there are delays and limitation. You're not able to move forward at the speed you would like to move forward, but it is there to crystallize and structure and build something of strong foundation, solid foundation. Now when Mars conjuncts Saturn in your 6th house, in the house of work and health, you feel the enthusiasm in the sign of Aquarius. You feel this enthusiasm to go after your goals, your work goals, your health goals. Now 6th house is also to do with your work environment, your job, so you could be applying for a new job, or you could be getting a new job, or your living condition could be a little bit more enthusiastic. You may be very excited, or it could also lead to some kind of conflicts and confrontation in your work environment as well, because Mars is at the end of the day this aggressive, assertive kind of energy. So it all depends how you're channeling your energy in your daily life. Work stress, daily stress can get to you during this time, and it may lead to some kind of conflicts. So definitely watch out for this Mars and Saturn energy in your 6th house. Now Mercury will be in the sign of Aries in the first 10 days of the month of April, and Aries is your 8th house. So in the first week of April itself, Mercury is going to form a really harmonious aspect with Mars and Saturn in the sign of Aquarius. So Mercury is our communication, and when it connects with Mars in a harmonious way, what happens is our communication is much more expressive, is we are more confident in negotiating, in striking a deal, or showing our skills. We are very much communicative about whatever we want to say, whatever we want to approach, our plans, future plan, large scale plans, all that. We're very communicative, expressive about it. Now Mercury also connects with Saturn in a harmonious way during this time, the first week of April. So again, we are very focused, we've got better concentration, better memory, we are more serious in our approach in terms of our communication, and the plans that we have. Whatever plans there is, Virgo, you will be very much on it in terms of your enthusiasm, action, communication, expression, negotiating, talking to people, your memory, concentration, focus, all that is going to be very much harmoniously aligned during the first week of April. Now this connects your 8th and 6th house matters, so it's all about your money matters and your daily life, your work matters. So there could be some kind of movement in terms of your job, finances, shared finances, or just business opportunity, maybe negotiating, maybe some kind of contract you could be signing, that helps you improve your financial or your work condition. So that energy is in the first week of April. Now on the 5th of April, Venus is going to move in the sign of Pisces and will be joining Jupiter and Neptune in the sign of Pisces, in the sign of Pisces towards the end of the month of April. So Venus in the sign of Pisces is a really blessed time. It's really beneficial time for your creativity, for your your emotions, sensitivity, expression, all those creative side, your inspired side, all that. This is a really good energy when Venus is in the sign of Pisces, and when it connects with Jupiter and Neptune towards the end of the month of April, this is a time for love, harmony, romance, creativity. All those things are very harmoniously aligned. And all this happens in your 7th house, which is a house of relationships, social interaction, business interaction, and all that. So you will have this really blessed, growth inducing spiritual energy, really positive energy in your relationship house. So there's Venus, Jupiter and Neptune energy in the entire month of April that will bring sensitivity, compassion, love, romance, creativity, all these good vibe in your relationship house. So there could be a start of a new relationship, or just stabilizing a relationship or committing to a relationship, because 7th house is a house of committed relationship. So definitely it could be something could be crystallizing during this time. So definitely Virgos, you could be forming some kind of soul connection, some spiritual connection, spiritual bond during this time. Now in the first week of April, Jupiter is in the sign of Pisces, connects with a north node in the sign of Taurus. So your 7th house matter and your 9th house matter are beautifully aligned in the first week itself, on the 8th of April to be exact. So Jupiter is the planet of expansion, amplification, and when it connects with North Node in the sign of Taurus in your 9th house, which is a house of material gains, and North Node is about moving towards that energy, that's a focus area during this time. So Jupiter is going to bring this enhanced energy in your financial matter, material gains, your need for exploration, new opportunities through interaction, through social interaction. So definitely great time to connect with people and keep yourself open, be open-minded, and take on those new opportunities, try new territories, connect with new people, new encounters, and all this will definitely lead to enhancement, growth, progress, both in terms of spiritually and materially, both Virgos. Now on the 10th of April, Mercury moves in the sign of Taurus. Now Taurus is your 9th house, so Mercury is going to join Uranus and North Node in the sign of Taurus in your 9th house. So your mind, your focus, your whole persona, the way you apply yourself, the way you approach, your mental approach, your outlook, mindset, everything is going to be focused on exploring. It's going to be focused on being open-minded, taking up those new opportunities, and all this is going to be a little bit more focused on the material aspect of life. So you are definitely focusing on enhancing your finances, your material gains and all that. So that's how you're approaching these new opportunities during this time. Now Mercury in the sign of Taurus in the 9th house is going to aspect planets in Pisces, which is your 7th house, and also will square planets in Aquarius, which is your 6th house. So throughout the month of April, Mercury will be very harmoniously aligned with your 7th house planet, which is Venus, Jupiter and Neptune, and Mercury is the planet of communication. So definitely more sensitive, communicative, energy is definitely there. Your communication in terms of your social interaction and interaction, new encounters, all that is very beautifully, progressively aligned, and you're very much interested in socializing as well during this time. And it's a good time to socialize because it's going to unwind you, it's going to relax you, and you can really use this a time to grow and enhance your life as well in terms of just overall growth, whatever you are seeking, your goals and ambition, the need to progress, the need to grow, all that energy is there. So this is a great time to use all this this compassionate, sensitive energy of these Pisces planets with your Taurus planet, which is the ninth house, to grow, progress socially, materially, new opportunities, territories, traveling needs, learning needs as well. If you want to learn something new, if you want to take on a education program, something, this is a time to really look into these matters as well, Virgos. Now Saturn is in the sign of Aquarius during this time and will be squaring the planets in the Taurus sign, which is your ninth house. So North Node is in the ninth house in the sign of Taurus, where Mercury and Uranus is also there. So Saturn will be squaring North Node. Now square is a kind of uneasy, challenging aspect. So when it connects with the North Node, you may feel a bit of restriction, delays, or restlessness in terms of pursuing your life destiny. Whatever life direction that you're pursuing, wherever you're trying to go, whatever goals and ambition you have, you may feel a little bit, limited in that. Now Saturn is a karmic planet and North Node is a karmic point. So when these connect, even in a challenging aspect, there's a need to be more spiritually inclined in your approach. And whatever you're trying to achieve during this time, lead from a spiritual space more than egoistic space, because when you are more realistic, more spiritually inclined, pursuing things with more self-discipline, structure, organization, then things can come your way in a more wholesome way, and you can and it's a good time to channel and refocus your energy. If things are not working out and it's difficult to achieve and you feel limited, this is a time to refocus, maybe do things in a different way. Now in the 6th house and 9th house energy, and Mercury is also there, so that is about skills and capabilities as well, communication. So with the Saturn squaring there, definitely there's a need to upskill yourself, relearn in the 9th house. Definitely if you want to take on some kind of learning opportunities or some kind of education degree program or whatever, to better your chances to learn new skills, to have more opportunities going forward in terms of your goals, ambitious career, work opportunities and all that. So definitely a great time to look into those things as well, Virgos. Now on the 12th of April, Jupiter is going to conjunct Neptune in the sign of Pisces, again in your 7th house. Now this is a beautiful time for your relationship. Absolutely a great, compassionate, sensitive, considerate, loving, romantic, spiritually inclined time. This is a time for self-development, personal development, growth as well in a relationship as well, seeing other people's expectations of you and your expectation of other people, and really finding a balance, harmony in these matters and growing together, connecting together on a soul level, spiritual level, and growing together, because you'll feel definitely connected during this time. And in your 7th house, the interaction that you have during this time, the social interaction that you have during this time, this can be personal, business, both ways. So you definitely feel more connected during this, and you may come across people, new people that help you grow spiritually. So definitely a really beautiful time in the month of April, with so much Pisces energy in your 7th house. Now Mars moves in the sign of Pisces on the 14th of April. Now Mars in the sign of Pisces in your 7th house, it can be a difficult energies, because Mars in the 7th house itself can either bring a lot of passion in your relationship or can bring a confrontation or conflict. Now in the sign of Pisces, because it's a watery sign, you may feel less motivated to pursue these social interaction, even if it presents it to you. So definitely it's a time to channel your energy constructively, progressively, and lead with enthusiasm and goals, ambitions, passion, more than confrontation and conflicts during this time, where especially where your social interaction is concerned, because there's so much good positive energy with this Venus, Jupiter, Neptune all in your 7th house, and when Mars joins it, it can either bring a lot of passion or confrontation. So it's very important to balance the energies and to realize what side you're expressing more. Is it your Mars side or your Venus side or Jupiter side, Neptune side, what you're expressing more during this time? So overall, definitely use this time to progress passionately and be more socially inclined during this time, and you will definitely connect with people on soul level. Now Virgos, in the middle of the month of April, on the 16th of April, there's a full moon in the sign of Libra, which is your 2nd house of accumulated wealth, your finances, your assets, possessions, your material gains, and your self-worth. So a full moon here is definitely in the sign of Libra is about finding a balance, harmony in the way you approach your financial matters and how you see your own worth through your material side, you know, the material aspect of life. Now with full moon, it's a time of culmination, some kind of understanding, your financial understanding, where you stand or how you're handling your finances. Maybe there's a need for financial plan. So all this will come to your understanding, more clarity during this time, and it could lead to either releasing old stuck energies or, you know, some kind of fulfillment because you have been working so hard on, you know, building your finances. So some kind of good energy culmination, you know, can come your way during this time. Now Virgos, in the last couple of weeks of month of April, there's going to be a lot of focus on your relationship and your you know, your traveling, learning needs, your belief system, your value system. So again, there's a lot of focus, and this is a very harmonious focus because Taurus is your 9th house and Pisces is your 7th house. So the energy is not challenging, it's quite harmonious. So this is a time to make those progress in terms of expanding your mind, broadening your mind, exploring, you know, utilizing new opportunities that comes your way, socializing, connecting with people. Even though Mars energy is there, but you can use that to, you know, drive yourself, you know, and take action in terms of moving forward. So definitely the last 2 months of April is definitely a very harmonious time for your relationship matters, and you know, the need to travel, explore. So you could be, you know, coming together, maybe interacting, socializing through your travels, or you know, you learn or you travel somewhere and you connect with people, and that can lead to a really passionate relationship, that can lead to soul relationship connections, passionate connections and all that, whatever. And it can be personal, business, either way. So both energies are there. So definitely the last 2 months of the April, do take a trip, travel if you can, because there's a lot of positive energy in terms of meeting somebody, you know, that can be, you know, somebody special in your life going forward. Now the last week of the month of April, Virgos, there's going to be a lot of energies shifting. So there's Pluto going retrograde on the 29th of April, and there's a solar eclipse on the 30th of April. So there's a lot of shift occurring in right just last few days of the month of April. Now Pluto retrograde starts on the 29th of April, and that's for the 5 months after that. Now Pluto is in the sign of Capricorn, which is your 5th house. So that's where it's going to go retrograde. Now before Pluto goes retrograde, is going to trine Mercury in the sign of Taurus. Now Taurus is your 9th house. So this is a really harmonious energy. Now 5th house is your creativity. It's your, you know, the need to have fun, you know, relaxed time, joyful time, recreational time, you know, really having a good time, you know, fulfilling time. And 9th house is about trying out new things. So your 5th house and 9th house is, you know, beautifully aligned. So your mind is definitely on these experiences. Now Virgos, when it comes to the idea of having fun, you are a little bit conservative and more cautious in your approach, because Capricorn is your 5th house, which is a little bit more serious approach to having fun. But during this time, you're definitely a little bit more willing to go out of your comfort zone to try new things out, and you know, that brings joy to you, that brings fun element to your life, and definitely great time to do that. So definitely traveling, having fun, recreational time, fun activities, you know, relaxed activities, all that, you know, is a great time to, you know, take on these opportunities. And don't shy away, don't keep yourself closed, don't close yourself from these opportunities, because this is how you can interact and, you know, come across somebody who can be, you know, really good for your growth, your spiritual growth, your overall growth. So definitely don't shy yourself from socializing and even traveling is a great energy during this time. Taking trips abroad, going or traveling wherever you want to travel, and meeting new people. Now the solar eclipse occurs on the 30th of April in the sign of Taurus. Now Taurus is your 9th house. So again, this need for exploration, there's a shift occurring, a new energy, new mindset coming in your 9th house matter. So definitely you can expect some kind of news, some kind of message, some kind of information coming in your 9th house matter. So maybe education program or growth program, communication, you know, your mindset, your perspective, belief system, all that can really be, you know, grow and change and shift. A new cycle can begin, most definitely, because the eclipses in the year 2022 occurs on your 9th and 3rd house axis, Virgos, which is about communication, information sharing, you know, how you communicate, your mindset, your outlook, all that is shifting in this month. So don't keep yourself closed during this time, and for the whole year, in fact 2022, don't keep yourself contained and closed in small mindset. Open yourself to new perspective, experience new things, meet new people, and all this is definitely going to be really beneficial for you for the entire year, Virgos. So Virgos, overall in the month of April, there's a lot of focus on your relationship, your work, your daily life, your health matters, your value system, your money matters, your finances, and the main focus is on your need for exploration, being open, and allowing people to come in your life, socializing, connecting with people, different people, new people, and having fun as well, letting your hair down and just having fun as well, and keeping your mind open to new ideas, new perspective, new opportunities, and new territories. Virgos, because there's a major shift occurring in the month of April, and you'll feel this energy in due course, for the rest of the year. Libras, for you, the month of April 2022, there's going to be a lot of focus on your relationship house, because that's where the Aries sign is. Now there's also going to be a lot of focus on your 8th house, your shared resources, your shared value system, and also your 5th and 6th house matters, which is where your Aquarius sign and Pisces sign respectively sits. So there's a focus on your relationship, your shared values, shared resources, your work and health matters, and also your creativity, your your self-expression, your solar projects, your need to express yourself, and your children, and the romance or relationship, anything that you have, connections that you have in life. So all these energies are highlighted in the month of April 2022 for you Libras. Now the month of April 2022 begins with a new moon in the sign of Aries, and in your 7th house of relationship, which is your opposite sign, your opposite house. So there's going to be a kind of a new fresh start, shift in your mindset around relationship, or the way you interact with people, the way you connect with people, and this can be both personal and business. So the way you have been approaching your relationship until now in the last year, this is the opportunity to see things differently, bring some fresh energy, see things in a new perspective. Now Aries is a sign of taking action, moving forward, being a little bit more self-focused. That's the Aries energy. So this could be a time to put your ideas in terms of your relationship in motion. If you got any ideas regarding your business or in a business partnership, this is the time to communicate those and to discuss those and put those in motion as well, because Aries is the beginning of new cycle, and this is the perfect time to have those beginnings in your interaction, social interaction, one-to-one, business partnership, so personal partnership, whatever that might be. So great time to move things forward, Libra. Now in the first week of the month of April, there's going to be a lot of focus in the sign of Aquarius as well, because there's Saturn already in the sign of Aquarius since December 2020 and will remain there until March 2023. Now Aquarius is your 5th house. The 5th house is of your self-expression, and your children, your romantic side, your joyous side, all that. That's where Saturn is sitting. So you're already feeling kind of a limited in these energy. You may be feeling obstacles in these energy. The growth that you desire in your 5th house matter may be faced with obstacle. Now you may be going through some kind of obstacle regarding your self-expression, your creative expression, maybe your creative projects and all that. So that's where the restlessness is since December 2020. Now Mars is also here with Saturn in the sign of Aquarius in the first couple of weeks of April. So you will feel this energy during this time to move things forward, because until now, if you were faced with delays in terms of your 5th house matter, you will see some action, you will see some forward movement, most definitely. Now Mars is to do with passion, ambition, moving forward kind of energy, taking action and all that. So definitely your solar projects, your creative project, whatever that is, this is the time, and you will be very inclined to be more goal oriented, be getting the work done, getting as much work done as well in terms of your creativity and all that, Libra. Now, Mercury is in the sign of Aries in the first 10 days of the month of April and in your 7th house. And from there, it forms a very harmonious aspect with planets in the sign of Aquarius, which is Mars and Saturn. So Mercury will be sextiling Mars and Saturn, the sign of Aquarius. So your 7th house and 5th house energies are very beautifully aligned during this time. Now, Mercury is our communication, the way we communicate, express our skills and capabilities. And when it connects beautifully with Saturn and Mars, you are more focused, more confident in terms of expressing yourself in your social setup, or even, you know, your creative side. So you definitely, things are moving forward because you're communicating beautifully, you're more confident, you're more efficient, and you're socializing, and, you know, just to, you know, have just utilizing your skills and capabilities better to make progress. Now, Venus moves in the sign of Pisces on the 5th of April and will remain there for the entire month, and will be joining Jupiter and Neptune later on in the month in the sign of Pisces. And Pisces is your 6th house, Libras. Now, 6th house is to do with your work and health matters. Now, Neptune in your work and health matter can bring some kind of blurriness, being unrealistic in terms of approaching how you approach your work and health matters. Now, Jupiter coming in over there with Neptune can make you a little bit more spiritually inclined. With Neptune is also very compassionate, sensitive, spiritual energy. And with Venus joining in, there is a kind of, Venus brings this harmony and balance and makes you focus on what you value in terms of your work and health. And that's where your spiritual growth is. That's where your amplification, your success is. That's where your growth is, progress is, because Jupiter is about expansion. So the spiritual growth that takes place is through understanding what you value in terms of your work and health matter. So definitely focusing a lot on your work and health matter, and bringing this balanced and harmonious energy in how you approach your daily life, you know, structuring your life and taking care of yourself. You know, self-love, self-care is very important, Libra, moving forward. Venus, Jupiter, Neptune in the month of April in your 6th house is definitely time to, you know, bring harmony, balance, and understand your value system and move forward in that direction to bring that self-love, self-care, positive energy in your life and in your health matters, Libras. Now, Jupiter is in the sign of Pisces as well, and on the 8th of April, it will form a harmonious aspect with North Node in the sign of Taurus, which is your 8th house. So 6th house and 8th house matters are aligned beautifully during this time. Now, whatever you're trying to achieve, the growth that you seek, you will be more focused during this time, and you will have this kind of a divine help as well to move and achieve whatever you want to achieve in terms of the, you know, the life direction, in terms of your 8th house matter. So if you want to grow financially, even build resources together, this is a great time to move something forward and structure your day in a way that you can bring these financial growth, inducing financial energy in your life, especially when you are in connection with other people, you know, mutually benefiting financial situation. You can bring those energy. Now, also, if you have loans or debt to repay, this is a great time to, you know, get that moving as well, because Jupiter is going to bring that you know, energy because Jupiter will help you to understand and organize your finances better, so that you can, you know, get yourself out of that loan or debt situation that you're maybe in. Now, Mercury moves in the sign of Taurus on the 10th of April. Now, Taurus is your 8th house, so there's going to be a lot of focus on the Taurus sign in your 8th house as well in the month of April, because there's Mercury there, Uranus there, and North Node. So there's a lot of shift, rebooting energy, transformation, growth energy coming in your 8th house. And this is not just on a material level, though Taurus is a materially inclined sign, but there's a lot of spiritual energy as well, because North Node is about, you know, bring that spiritual element to wherever you seek growth. Now, this North Node in your 8th house in the sign of Taurus will receive a square aspect from Saturn in your 5th house in the sign of Aquarius. Now, when Saturn squares North Node, what happens is you can feel whatever you're trying to achieve, you know, the growth you're seeking, the direction you want to take your life in, is faced with restriction, limitation, delays, and all that. So whatever you're trying to achieve in terms of your financial matters, you may feel restrictions during this time. Now, that's where you need to align yourself in a spiritual way, because Saturn is a karmic energy and North Node is a karmic point as well. So there's a karmic element to it. So releasing old karmas, you know, stuck energy, especially things that are not working anymore, especially in terms of how you think, how you approach you know, your financial matters, and just how you express yourself. All that needs to, you know, looked into and approached in a more spiritual way. And that's where there's a need to refocus energy more constructively to, you know, achieve those goals and ambition, financial goals and ambitions that you have, Libras, going forward. Now on the 12th of April, Jupiter will conjunct Neptune in the sign of Pisces in your 6th house. Now Jupiter and Neptune together is a very spiritually inclined time. It's a great time for spiritual growth. This is a great time to really, you know, trust your instinct, be more compassionate towards yourself, self-care, love. Structure your day in a way that you are focusing on your health matters as well, Libras, you know, because this Jupiter energy in here is going to bring that good vibe energy in your work and health matters, in the way you structure your day, your daily routine, your lifestyle and all that. So definitely a really blessed time to spiritually grow yourself and, you know, take care of yourself, Libra. Now on the 14th of April, Mars is also going to move in the sign of Pisces and will join Venus, Jupiter, Neptune all together in the sign of Pisces in your 6th house. Now Mars in the 6th house is actually a good position to get work done, and, you know, you can also get as much work done during this time. But in the sign of Pisces, which is a watery sign, you may be less inclined to go after your goals during this time, because maybe you feel low in energy or in motivation or ambition. So there's a need to strike a balance where your you know, just your general energy and your approach to daily life is concerned. Now Venus and Mars together in your 6th house in the sign of Pisces is about balancing things out anyway. It's about balancing things out anyway. So definitely look at your daily life in a balanced way and try to bring more harmony in the way you approach your work and health matters, Libras. Now Libras, on the 16th of April, there's a full moon occurring in your sign, in your house, in your 1st house. So this is the perfect time to you know, reach a culmination, release, fulfillment regarding how you are you know, leading your life until now, the way you're projecting yourself, your overall health matters, your, you know, the appearance, the way you know, you look after yourself, the way you project yourself, your personal priorities, your destiny, your life path. You're going to get more clarity around this time to be able to go on that path, to be able to take the right decision for yourself. Now if you have been doing something that has not worked out until now in terms of how you are projecting yourself, this is the time for readjustment as well, and to reassess your approach to, you know, your overall life pattern, overall life path. So definitely great time to look deeply into and bring harmony and balance in the way you approach your life, and, you know, just bring a little bit more of a, you know, calm and peace and just, you know, more balance in your life, basically overall balance, Libras. Now Libras, the last couple of weeks of the month of April, there's going to be a lot of focus on your 6th house where the Pisces sign is, and 8th house where your Taurus sign is, because there's the planets in the sign of Taurus and Pisces forming really harmonious you know, aspects with each other. So it's a good beneficial time overall with your 6th house and 8th house matter. Now 6th house is work and health, 8th house is the transformation house. So this could be a great time to use your skills, capabilities, your life direction, your approach, the, you know, the need for transformation, all that in terms of your finances, the way you build resources, the way you you know, handle your money matters, you know, shared money matters mostly, and also structure your day, you know, in a way that you can handle these and control and manage these energies better. It's quite an exciting time, the last 2 weeks of the month of April. It's a very communicative, interactive, socializing kind of time as well, because there's a lot of energy with this Venus, Mercury, Uranus, all this. So you're very progressive as well, thinking you want to change, you're thinking outside the box, you're thinking more logically in terms of how you want to approach your money matters, your, you know, daily life structure, your work matters, how you organize yourself, your lifestyle. All that thing is you're going through in a more structured way. You're enthusiastic about the change. Things are moving a bit more smoothly, you know, later on in the month of April. So you're definitely more creatively inclined, more communicative, more relaxed as well. You're planning for the future. You know, information messages have come your way that help you, you know, plan those whatever goals and ambition you have for the future, whatever future you aspire for yourself, Libras. Towards the end of the month of April, especially the last 2 weeks, you'll see that shift. You'll be able to make those changes. You'll be able to make those decision to, for those future plans, whatever decisions you need to make to go on that path. You will be a little bit in a better place to make those decisions, especially in the last couple of weeks of April. Now, when Venus conjuncts Jupiter and Neptune towards the last couple of weeks of April, especially the last week of April, there's love, harmony, balance, material gains, romance, compassion, sensitivity, all that together, and it's a very beneficial time. So definitely you're approaching things from in a more balanced way, especially where your daily life and your joint resources and shared values are concerned. Money matters and your daily life are concerned. You are a little bit more approaching in an enthusiastic, communicative, engaging manner. You want change, you want progress, you want growth in these matters, and you are willing to bring about changes to accommodate these growth as well, or you want to bring these changes so that you can have those growth, whatever growth you seek in these matters. And if you're not doing that already, this is the time to really put that in motion. But Libras, I'm sure you're already on that path, and you're already making those changes to accommodate the growth in your life. Now in the last week of month of April, on the 29th, Pluto is going to retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. Now, Capricorn is your 4th house. Now, just before Pluto goes retrograde on the 29th of April, on the 28th of April, it's going to, form a very harmonious aspect with Mercury in the sign of Taurus. Now, that's your 8th house and your 4th house. So this is amazing energy as well. Now, 8th house is to do with social finances as well. And Capricorn in your 4th house is about your emotional and physical foundation. So there could be some kind of movement in terms of, some kind of growth coming, or movement coming, or opportunities coming in terms of finances that help you stabilize you more, in terms of your foundation. Maybe it will help you stabilize you, or transform you, or make you see your, the way you approach your stability and security in a different way. Now, when Pluto goes retrograde on the 29th of April, for the next 5 months, there's a transformation occurring in your home matters. Maybe there's a shift, maybe there's a relocation, maybe you're reassessing, reevaluating how you can bring more inner contentment, fulfillment in your home matters. So it's very important to lead these energies a more scrupulous, principled, spiritual way when Pluto is in a retrograde motion. So the transformation you're seeking needs to come from within. It needs to be more internally focused. Now, on the 30th of April, there's a solar eclipse in the sign of Taurus in your 8th house. Now, that's a new moon. And the new moon energy is about having a fresh start, a new beginning. Now, when there's a solar eclipse, it's amplified. So it's a more powerful new beginning, a shift, a massive shift occurring. So definitely a massive transformation coming your way in your 8th house matter, which is shared finances and shared value systems. So definitely towards the end of April, you're going to see some shift going forward. Now, in the entire month of 2022, the shift is occurring on your 2nd house and 8th house axis, because that's where your Taurus and Scorpio signs sit. So there's a financial shift anyways occurring in the year of 2022, the entire year. So you will see these shifts, and this is the first solar eclipse of 2022. So you will see the cycle restarting towards the end of April, and things will start to kickstart and move forward. Whatever you want to achieve, whatever goals, aspirations you have for the future, you will see some movement going forward, Libras. So Libras, overall, this is a month where the focus is a lot on relationship, connection, soul connection, personal, business, both. Your shared value system, your money matters, your home matters, your work life structure, your health, the need to care for yourself, your expression, creativity, creative project, the need to have fun, the need to relax, spend time with children, your loved one, close ties. So all these energies are in the month of April. So definitely a great time to make the shift and go after your goals and seek that fulfillment and inner contentment, Libras. Scorpios, for you in the month of April 2022, there's a lot of focus on your sixth house matter and your seventh house matter. Now, sixth house is where your Aries sign is, and that's where the planet, and that's where Sun is there, and that's where Sun, Mercury is already there. And also there's going to be a new moon right at the beginning of the month of April, right on the 1st of April, there's a new moon occurring in your sixth house. Now, besides the sixth house energy, there's also focus in your seventh house. That's where the Taurus sign is. So your relationship angles comes into play. Now, relationship angle is already a major energy for the year 2022 for you Scorpios, because the nodes have shifted on your first and seventh house axis, the Taurus and Scorpio axis. So even in the month of April, there's added energy in your seventh house, because Mercury moves in the sign of Taurus in your seventh house on the 10th of April. So there's added emphasis on this house. Now, Saturn and Mars will be in the sign of Aquarius in your fourth house. So there's a lot of emphasis in the first half of the month of April. There's a lot of emphasis and enthusiasm in your home environment as well. Now, Saturn is in the fourth house for the entire year, for the rest of the year until March 2023. So you're already feeling like kind of major spotlight energy in your home and family, home environment, and with, your emotional and physical foundation. Now, the fifth house energy, that's where the Pisces sign is. So for the month of April, besides the Aries and Taurus energy, the Pisces energy is definitely the leading energy in the month of April. So your creativity house, your children's house, all that is definitely at the forefront. Now, Scorpio, on the 1st of April, the new moon occurs in the sign of Aries in your sixth house. Now, sixth house is about your work and health matters. So this is the time you can look at your work and health matter in a renewed way. Now, this is the time to put down some kind of plan, some kind of, regime, work regime, health regime. You can put down some kind of plan, work plan, or kind of a health plan, diet plan, just to, improve yourself in terms of, your health matters, if there's a need to improve that, obviously. But anyways, whatever that might be, whatever your current situation might be, in your sixth house, this new moon energy in the sign of Aries. Now, Aries is a very cardinal energy, so it's like a moving forward kind of energy. It's about getting things done. So this is the time, if you set an intention, you can see the results, the outcome in the next 6 months when the full moon in Aries occurs in October. So definitely a great time to put your ideas and thoughts and plans into motion, where your work and health matters, and just your daily routine as well, lifestyle, the way you live on a daily basis, all that is concerned. This is the time to put that in motion. Now, Mars is in the sign of Aquarius the first couple of weeks of the month of April, and there it conjuncts Saturn. Now, Aquarius is your fourth house, so there's going to be a lot of emphasis in your fourth house, in your home environment, family members, your roots, your ancestry, wherever you come from, your birthplace and all that. So there's a lot of emphasis on that energy. Now, when Mars and Saturn comes together, what it does is it makes you very determined and very focused and very much ready to put in the energy to get the best out of it, basically. So for your own self, if you're connecting with your roots, if you're connecting with your birthplace, or you're connecting with your parental figure, or just your home environment, your current home environment as well, if you are putting in effort to bring in this fresh energy, or or just taking action, moving things forward, if there's a stuck energy in your home environment, family, or if you are buying real estate, if you want to move houses, this is a great time also to put those in motion, because Saturn in the fourth house can make you sometimes feel like there's a responsibility on your shoulders for your home environment or family members, whomever you connect with. Now, with Mars there, you can feel a little bit enthusiastic to move things forward, refocus your energy to get things done. Or if you feel things are getting delayed and it's not moving forward, this is a great time to to set that in motion as well. Now, with Mars and Saturn, it is a kind of opposing energy, because Mars is about taking action and Saturn is about being more cautious. So if you feel that if the things are not moving fast, it can cause conflicts or confrontation in your home environment. So it's the best thing is to express and focus your energy in a more more balanced way, more harmonious way, so that you don't get into a kind of a situation that is not pretty. So definitely refocus your energy, communicate better with your home, with with your people, with your folks, and in your home environment. Just create kind of a moving forward kind of energy, you know, get things rolling. Now Mercury is in the sign of Aries in the first 10 days of April, and and from there it sextiles Mars and Saturn both in the sign of Aquarius. So Mercury is in your so Mercury is in your sixth house. So from sixth house it's really forming a very harmonious aspect with planets in the fourth house. So this is really good, in fact. So your daily life, your daily routine, and your home environment is connected. The energies are connected in a very harmonious way. So this is a time to express whatever is in your heart, whatever you want to express, and you will be able to do it in a more peaceful, harmonious, and, you know, more kind of effective way, you know, like finding a creative resolution, or if there is any kind of stuck energy. So this is definitely the time to, you know, express yourself and plan for the future, basically, because this is a great time to apply your mental ability, your mental skills, and just you know, your skills and capability to organize your home, organize your life, to move forward. And you'll feel a lot more expressive and confident as well to get these things rolling, because with the energy of Mercury connected with Mars and Saturn is actually quite a great energy to make things happen, move things forward, especially where your, you know, your home environment and your just daily life, your job, work, health matters are concerned. Now Scorpio's Venus moves in the sign of Pisces in your fifth house on the 5th of April. Now Venus in the sign of Pisces is actually a great transit. It's a really good position because Venus is very happy in the sign of Pisces, because Pisces is a water sign and Venus is considered exalted in the sign of Pisces, and it's in your fifth house. So fifth house is about creativity and, you know, expressing yourself, your creative projects, your children, romance, and all that. And Venus represents all these. It represents creativity, it represents romance, relationship, you know, having a good time. That's what fifth house is about. So this is a great time to, you know, bring out these energies and really have fun. Now Pisces is also to do with sensitivity, compassion, spirituality. So all these things can be brought out through, you know, your expressing yourself creatively, you know, getting involved in creative projects and all that can really bring out, you know, really the creative, sensitive side of you, Scorpios. Now Jupiter is also in the sign of Pisces already since the beginning of this year, and on the 8th of April it's going to form a really harmonious aspect with North Node in the sign of Taurus in your 7th house. So this is the time when the efforts put in the past, you know, the positive, constructive effort, the good efforts put in the past, comes back in a form of opportunity for growth, spiritual growth, material growth during this time. And all this is connected with your creativity, your sense, you know, your own creativity and your relationship or your interaction, social interaction. So maybe you are connecting with people, you're interacting with people, and your creative side is coming out, and that's all reaping you, you know, spiritual benefit and material benefit going forward. So this Jupiter connecting with your North Node is quite a good energy, very harmonious energy for you to grow creatively, grow in a relationship, or even if you have a business partnership, because 7th house is not just personal partnership, it's also business partnership. So maybe you can sign a contract, negotiate in terms of a creative project, artistic project, and this Jupiter connecting with North Node is going to actually expand and make you realize and make you you know, come close and get you closer to, you know, whatever your destiny is, whatever you're trying to achieve, you know, your soul path, your life path, whatever you're trying to achieve with the 7th house North Node in with the North Node in your 7th house. This is a great time to use this energy to maybe sign a contract, sign a deal or something, or come together in a business partnership, or whatever, or commit to somebody, you know, even a romantic relationship, personal relationship. Also, you will definitely come across people during this entire year, Scorpios, that you will have to learn to trust more and you know, give them a chance, listen to them, you know, listen to their point of view as well going forward. Because with the South Node in your first house, obviously there's a need to trust your own instincts and to rely on your own abilities and capabilities. But during this year with the North Node in your 7th house, definitely you must bring the energies, you know, social energy more in your life, and interact with people and trust people as well, especially those who are there to support you and who mean well. Now Scorpios, on the 10th of April, Mercury is going to move from the sign of Aries to the sign of Taurus. So from your 6th house to your 7th house. Now 7th house is the relationship house, is the partnership house. So Mercury here will join Uranus and North Node throughout the month of April as the month progresses. Now Mercury is about communication, it's the messenger planet, it's the information planet, it's a skills capability planet, it's about networking, negotiating, connecting. It also has this business energy, and 7th house is already a partnership house. It's about business partnership. So again there's energy of connecting with people, forming partnership, negotiating a deal, contracts, whatever that might be. This is a great time to cooperate for the purpose of material gain, spiritual gain, just moving upward in your life, Scorpio. So definitely you use this Mercury in Taurus energy, and Taurus is about material gains anyway. So whatever you connect with, you will definitely be more focused on, getting a material success out of it as well, besides a spiritual success, because North Node is a karmic point. So you need that spiritual energy to be successful. So there's a material aspect, it's a spiritual aspect, both in your 7th house for the entire year. But in the month of April, things might kickstart for you. Now this Mercury in the sign of Taurus is going to form a really beautiful aspect with planets in the sign of Pisces in your 5th house, and that is Venus, Jupiter and Neptune throughout the month of April. Now when Mercury, which is your communication skills, connects with your Venus, Jupiter and Neptune, you can expect again beneficial energy coming towards you, enhanced progressive energy related to your creativity, romance, relationship, money, expansion, your spirituality, compassion, sensitivity. All these energy are really beautifully aligned, and you will feel very connected in terms of your 7th house and 5th house energy, which is relationship and just expressing yourself, your solo energy, your solo projects, your need to, your need to express yourself, creatively on just individual level. So absolutely brilliant energy in the month of April, entire April, to kickstart any creative projects, business partnership, all these things, most definitely. Now Saturn is in the sign of Aquarius in the 4th house, and it's squaring the planets in Taurus, because Aquarius and Taurus are both fixed signs, so the planets in there square each other. Now square is an uneasy, challenging aspect, so you need to channel your energy, refocus your energy to get something out of it, some kind of positive, constructive outcome out of it. Now when Saturn squares the planets in Saturn squares the planets in Taurus, which is Mercury, North Node and all that, what you can expect is some kind of delay, restlessness in terms of whatever you're trying to achieve. Whatever you're trying, the business partnership, the growth, the social interaction that you're trying to achieve, you may feel a bit held back due to your home environment, due to things happening in your home matters with family member, or just emotionally you're not ready for those energies to come in your life, even though they are beneficial and really enhance it. So just trust in. So this is the time to trust those partnership, especially the ones who mean well. Most definitely you need to obviously not just trust any and everyone, but use your intuition, Scorpios. You have this natural intuitive energy about you, so use your intuition and see the ones who mean well and connect with them, and just trust more. Now on the 14th of April, Mars will move from this sign of Aquarius in your 4th house to the sign of Pisces in your 5th house. So it is over there it's going to join Venus, Jupiter, Neptune, all these energies. So Mars in Pisces in your 5th house is again a lot of focus on your creativity, a lot of focus on your spirituality, and just your personal development, your growth and all the through creativity. So Mars in the sign of Pisces, which is a water sign, may not be as forthcoming as it would be in an air or fire or earth sign. So over here you may feel less motivated to pursue your goals, especially if it's kind of traditional goals, old plans that you have. You may not be as motivated to continue those plans, so you may want to lead from a more spiritual perspective. You're less confrontational as well during this time, Scorpio, so you really want to lead from a more peaceful spiritual space during this month of April. Now there's a full moon in the sign of Libra in your 12th house. Now 12th house is to do with your past pattern, your old patterns, your inner motivation, subconscious motivation as well. And a full moon is about culmination, it's about realization, it's about revealing information, it's about, you know, gratification, fulfillment as well of the efforts that you have been putting in the last 6 months mostly. So full moon in the sign of full moon in your 12th house is about finding a balance, because it's a Libra energy, because it's in the sign of Libra. So it's about finding harmony, balance in terms of what your inner motivations are, also balancing old patterns out, you know, releasing old patterns if you feel stuck, especially subconscious, you know, it's all psychological, it's all within you. It's not external energy that's holding you back, it's your own mind, it's your own, how you are perceiving your own subconscious. So you need to release anything that's holding you back, Scorpios, during this time, and really, you know, be bold and go out. So definitely use this time to also maybe retreat, relax as well, because 12th house has that energy of, you know, just recharging your battery and, you know, just finding balance and harmony at the end of the day with this full moon, through realizing your inner motivation, your what motivates you from within, where is your inner fulfillment, and releasing anything that is not helping you grow. Now Scorpios, in the last couple of weeks of the month of April, there's a lot of focus on your 7th house and 5th house matter. That's where the Pisces and Taurus signs are, because there's lots of planetary energies in both these signs. So your relationship angle is again comes to the forefront, your partnership. Now it's the energy is for the entire month, it's not just the last 2 weeks, but there's a lot of focus in that, because the sun moves in the sign of Taurus in the middle of the month of April from the sign of Aries. So the focus, you know, your life force, your energy is more spent on your relationship angle towards the last couple of weeks. And also there's a harmonious alignment, harmonious aspect with all the planets in Pisces. So that's your 5th house. Now that's your creativity house, solo expression, solo projects and all that. So this is a great time to really push yourself in terms of, again, a partnership, creativity, you know, expressing yourself, putting yourself out there, expressing your needs, your talents, hobbies, creativity, you know, just displaying that, and, you know, getting the best deal, finding the best business partnership, or just connecting with people in your life, socializing your close ties, relationship, you know, significant others, whoever that might be, you know, just connecting with them, you know, more romance, more creative time, more recreational time, more fun time also. So that's your personal angle, you know, more romance as well during this time. So definitely and a great time with children. If you have children, spend time with your children, you know, take them out, do some fun activities with them, because this is going to build relationship, this is going to enhance relationship, and all this, you know, having and going out and about may create new relationship as well. So more you socialize, more you'll feel relaxed, and you will connect with people. That will create more you know, opportunity for partnership, and, you know, both personal and business. So all these harmonious aspects between Mercury, Uranus, with Mercury, Uranus, North Node in the sign of Taurus, and with Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Neptune all in the sign of Pisces, is a beautiful alignment, because all these energies are happy energies. You know, Venus and Mars together is time to balance your 5th house matters. With Jupiter, Neptune, it's all spiritual expansion, material expansion, and there's a Taurus energy with Mercury in there. So your skills and capability, your focus is on, you know, enhancement, your money enhancement, material enhancement, relationship enhancement, and all that. And with North Node, that's where your focus is for the entire year, you know, your relationship. And with Uranus in 7th house as well, you're going through a transformation in your relationship for last few years, 3-4 years, and there's some more years to go in your relationship house. So this is absolutely amazing time, Scorpios, to, you know, connect more, socialize more, and, you know, create trust more, to connect more, to socialize more, and trust more as well, Scorpios. Now the last week of April is very crucial, because there's a solar eclipse occurring on the 30th of April, and Pluto goes retrograde on the 29th of April. So it's quite intense energy towards the end of the month of April. Now Pluto goes retrograde in the sign of Capricorn in your 3rd house. Now just before Pluto goes retrograde, the day before, it will form a very harmonious aspect with Mercury in the sign of Taurus. So Mercury in Taurus and Pluto in the sign of Capricorn is connecting. So that's your 7th house and 3rd house energy. Now 3rd house is about communication, expression, business, partnership, short trips, business trips, local trips, connecting with your siblings, close ties and all that. And 7th house is the relationship house, partnership house anyways. And the 7th house is the relationship partner house already. So when Mercury and Pluto comes together in a trine aspect, it's a very collaborative, supportive energy. So very free flowing, very well aligned, harmonious energy, because both are earth signs. So it's all about career, money matters, material gains, moving forward in your signing business contracts, or moving forward in terms of concrete success, in terms of concrete achievement, accomplishments, in terms of your career, in terms of your communication, business, partnership, and all that, most definitely. So during this time, you'll come across as a very powerful leader. You're very persuasive, very intense. Your communication is very intense. You're able to persuade people as well to come on board in terms of whatever you're trying to sign up to. Now when Pluto goes retrograde in your 3rd house, Pluto is about transformation, and when it goes retrograde, it's about inner transformation. So in your 3rd house, it's all about your outlook, your mindset, your communication, how you connect with people, basically. So all that is going to go through transformation for the next 5 months while it's in retrograde motion. So definitely lead from a more scrupulous, more principled approach, and don't lead from an egoistic space, because these energies are a little bit more spiritual energies. So there's a need to approach things from a principled and spiritual space. Now on the 30th of April, there's a solar eclipse, new moon in the sign of Taurus, which is your 7th house. Now again, 7th house focus is back on, so new beginnings, fresh new beginnings, exciting new beginnings, like major shift, complete shift can come about where your partnership and relationships are concerned. Now this energy of the eclipses on the Taurus Scorpio axis, your 7th and 1st house, is for the entire year, because there are eclipses occurring on this axis for the whole year. This is the first eclipse of the year, and it's in your 7th house, so expect major shift, new beginning. The energy is there for fresh start in your 7th house matter, and you feel the influence unfolding over the entire year. You'll see it, but this is the time to set something in motion where your partnership is concerned, business or personal. This could be a time you may be committing, or whatever you want to do in terms of your business, moving it forward. Definitely a great time for fresh beginnings, Scorpios. So overall, Scorpios, the month of April 2022 is all about your home. It's all about your home matters, your creativity, your work, health, your daily life, and most importantly, your relationship. So this is the energy for the month of April, and you can approach, and there's a need to approach things, and you can expect spiritual and material growth during the month of April. If you lead from a more realistic space, more kind of a balanced, harmonious mindset, and think and refocus your energy. If things are not working out, the current energies are not helping you grow, maybe it's time to think differently and approach things differently, Scorpios. Sagittarius, for you, the month of April 2022, there's going to be a lot of focus on your 5th house matter, because that's where the sign of Aries is. Especially the first 2 weeks of the month of April, there's a lot of focus on Aries sign and your 5th house. And in the second half of the month of April, there's a lot of focus on your 6th house matter. That's where your Taurus sign is. Now there's a lot of focus also on your 3rd and 4th house in the month of April, because that's where your Aquarius sign and Pisces signs are. So overall, there's a focus on your communication, the way you network, the way you connect with people, your home, family life, your creativity, your solo projects, how you express yourself, the need to have recreational time, fun time, spend time with children, your romance, love and angle on all that. And also your work and health matters during the month of April, including your daily life, your routine, your structure, daily structures, habits, and just generally your lifestyle. So there's a lot of focus in the month of April in all these matters. Now the month of April begins with a new moon in the sign of Aries, which is your fifth house. Now fifth house is again to do with your solo projects, your creativity, your self-expression, your children, romance, fun time, and all that. So here in the sign of Aries, now Sagittarius, you are a fire sign, and Aries is a fire sign too. So it's a connected energy. It's kind of aligned, well aligned, harmonious energy with your sign. So this is a great time to push that. So this is a great time to set your ideas, plans, thoughts in motion during this new moon in Aries. Have new beginnings, fresh approach in the way you approach your solo projects, your creativity, your artistic side, or even the idea of having fun, recreational time, spending time with children, romance, and all that. So definitely a great time to begin something new. Also fifth house has the energy of startups. So any kind of creative startups or creative projects, this is a great time to think about it. Or if you're already thinking, then really get the ball rolling. Just really set that ideas and plan in motion, Sagittarius. Now in the first week of the month of April, in fact the first 10 days of the month of April, Mercury is going to be in the sign of Aries in your fifth house. So Mercury in the sign of Aries is a great time to really apply your skills, capability, your connection, and all that, and your communication, the way you communicate to your creative projects, to what you do on a daily basis in terms of expressing yourself, solo projects, and really connecting with your heart center, connecting with what makes you happy, what brings gratification to you, Sagittarius. Now from there, Mercury in the sign of Aries from the fifth house will aspect Mars and Saturn in the sign of Aquarius, which is your third house. So third house and fifth house energies are very well aligned in the first 10 days. So that's your mental capacity, your confidence level, your enthusiasm regarding creativity, creative projects, and even connecting, networking with people, jobs, and going on trips, short trips, business trips, communicating, showing your skills, capability to get a new job, or all that. So it's very well connected. Now Saturn is in the sign of Aquarius, and it's also forming very harmonious aspect with Mercury. So you're very focused as well, and determined as well, and willing to put that sustained effort, that hard work to get the best out, the best result out of these third house and fifth house energy. So definitely a great time to move things forward and use your talents, skills, capabilities, your strength, whatever strength you have, whatever skills you have. If you need to learn something new, this is a great time to learn something new as well, to upskill yourself. So definitely a great time to apply your mental capacity, your intellect. So this is a great time to really apply your mental capacity, be more intellectually engaged in terms of what you're trying to achieve, in terms of your your creative side, your business side, your work side, your networking, communicating, information sharing, all that. They're definitely great. And also third house is to do with interviews and connecting, networking for the purpose of getting a job or a new job as well. So again, a great time to really be more enthusiastic. So definitely a great time to be a little bit more enthusiastic and action oriented in terms of what you want to achieve in your daily life, creative side, and your in terms of your skills and capabilities, Sagittarius. Now Venus in the sign of Pisces is a very blessed energy. It's very sensitive, creative, compassionate, very harmonious energy. So in your fourth house, which is your home and family environment, your emotional, physical foundation, you will feel a lot more connected, peaceful, to create that harmonious environment at home. Now Venus will also connect with Jupiter and Neptune in the sign of Pisces for the entire month of April. So you will feel this energy in your fourth. You'll feel more relaxed, more at home, more peaceful at home during this month. And there's an opportunity also create that environment for you. If you're not currently feeling that energy, this Venus can really bring that luxurious, harmonious affluent kind of energy in your home environment. So definitely great time to maybe decorate your home, or beautify your home, maybe declutter your home, or whatever you want to do it. So all, and also your emotional foundation. It's not just a physical external energy, it's also from within, because sign of Pisces, because Pisces is a very spiritual energy. So it's about your subconscious motivation, inner motivation, your inner fulfillment, your inner contentment. And in the fourth house, it's about creating that environment for yourself, that sanctuary. So definitely great energy in the month of April to move that forward. Now, on the 8th of April, Jupiter is going to sextile North Node in the sign of Taurus. Now, Taurus is your 6th house, and Jupiter in Pisces is your 4th house. So 4th house and 6th house energies are very beautifully connected. So when North Node is in your 6th house, it means bringing positive, growth-orienting shifts. A new cycle begins in your work and health matters. So this is a great time, even if you feel some kind of blockages regarding changing your work environment, or applying for a new job, getting a new job, or just your health matters as well. If you want to have a new start during in your 6th house matter, this Jupiter is going to bring that expansive energy, blessed energy, beneficial energy to whatever you're trying to achieve. So definitely a great time to look at your options, and just be a little bit more engaged in your daily life to get the best outcome, whatever you want to achieve. So definitely Jupiter is quite a positive energy, most definitely, but you need to put the work in, because there's also Saturn in the sign of Aquarius in your 3rd house, and there it squares the planets in Taurus in your 6th house. So when Saturn squares planets in Taurus, which is your North Node, and Mercury, what happens is the efforts that you're trying to put, the goals that you have, the plans that you have, you may feel a bit delay in that, or you feel restlessness because you're not able to achieve those outcomes at the speed that you want, because Saturn is there since December 2020 in your 3rd house, and will be there till March 2023. So you will feel this restrictive energy in terms of networking, connecting, communicating with people, and connecting with people for the job purpose, for interview appointments and all that. You'll feel restricted, but 6th house energy is asking you to shift old energies with North Node in there, and Uranus is also there. So it's already rebooting your work and health matters, your daily life, Sagittarius. So a great shift is occurring this year as well. So the best thing is to apply yourself more creatively, use your talents, and if you think there's something lacking and you need some more, like in terms of skills, then it's a great time to learn, because Saturn 3rd house is about maybe capitalizing on what you have, or rebuilding or building new skills, so that you can use it later on for your job, career, business purpose, whatever that, your creative projects and all that. Now, on the 10th of April, Mercury moves in the sign of Taurus, again in your 6th house. So with Mercury in the sign of Taurus, it's more about you applying your common sense and your focused approach, because Taurus is an earthy sign. So Mercury becomes a little bit more focused, a bit more realistic regarding what is tangible, the tangible outcomes, the tangible results. That's what Mercury is after in the sign of Taurus. And in your 6th house, which is natural Virgo house, it's got earthy energy anyway. So Mercury here is definitely going to put extra emphasis in what is real, what is tangible, what you can achieve straight away, what you can achieve now, rather than being in a fantasy land. So definitely it's a great energy it's a great energy in the month of April to get your 6th house matters moving. Now, this Mercury in the sign of Taurus for the entire month of April is going to form harmonious aspect with planets in the sign of Pisces, and challenging aspect with planets in the sign of Aquarius, which is Saturn. So again, your 6th and 4th house energies are beautifully aligned, but your 6th house and 3rd house energies is a little bit challenging during this time. So 3rd house is your communication, 6th house is your daily life, work and health, 4th house is your home life. So you're a bit more at peace in terms of your daily, what's going on in your daily life when home environment is concerned, where family members are concerned. But when it comes to networking, connecting, externally, getting that job, and you may feel the challenge for the rest of the month of April as well. But there would be shifts occurring right at the month of April, on the 30th of April, when there's a solar eclipse in the sign of Taurus in your 6th house. So you can expect some kind of major shift from the past energies, something new in terms of your work and health, your work environment, and all that can definitely come about, Sagittarius. Now on the 14th of April, Sagittarius, Mars moves in the sign of Pisces from the sign of Aquarius. So from your 3rd house, it moves in your 4th house. Now Mars in the sign of Pisces. Pisces is a water sign, and Mars is this fiery energy. So it's not completely comfortable in the sign of Pisces. And in your 4th house as well, Mars is can bring either a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of action. Maybe you're very much action oriented to get things done, or it can bring conflicts and confrontation. So watch out for that Martian energy in your 4th house, especially after 14th of April. But it is in the sign of Pisces. Now Pisces is a very spiritual, watery energy. So here Mars may make you a bit low in energy instead of enthusiastic. So it makes you not go after your goals. It makes you a little bit not interested in the traditional goals, old goals. So maybe there's a need to look at things in a more spiritual way, in a more renewed way, and something that Mars can achieve in the sign of Pisces, which I think is a lot to do, which I think is spiritual development, self-development, self-care, self-growth. So Mars can really enhance your spiritual side during this time, and really can grow you personally, on a personal level, your inner, your personal level, your subconscious level, your internal. So this is a great time to have that. So this is a great time to have that a new beginning in terms of what internally motivates you, where you feel your security and your stability lies, where your fulfillment, inner fulfillment, inner contentment lies. So this Mars and Pisces is actually great energy to reach out within, look at your own self within, internal motivation, and grow spiritually. Now on the 16th of April is a full moon in the sign of Libra and in your 11th house. Now 11th house is to do with your social circle, is to do with your collaborations, the organization that you're part of, new encounters, team, peers, associates, acquaintances, your hopes and wishes. So full moon here is time for culmination, release, or revealing old energies, and readjusting if things are not working, readjusting them and bringing in kind of a resolution to move forward. Now Libra sign is about harmony and balance. So something will be revealed to you, something will come to your awareness, you'll create more self-awareness regarding your 11th house matter, how to connect with people, your social circle and all that. And you will definitely want a sense of beauty, harmony, more balance in where your connections are concerned, where your social setting, social network is concerned, Sagittarius. Now Sagittarius, in the last couple of weeks of the month of April, there's a lot of focus again in your 6th and 4th house matter, because that's your Taurus and Pisces sign. The sun moves in the sign of Taurus on the 19th of April. So especially after that, there's a lot of emphasis on your 6th and 4th house. So again, your daily life, your work, your health matters, and your home environment, your own emotional and physical foundation. So all these are very beautifully connected during this time. So you can see progress, achievement, movement, or just fulfillment, inner fulfillment during this time when these energies are concerned. Now you may feel that Saturn in the sign of Aquarius squaring the Taurus planets a little bit, even the later part of the April, but there's a lot of energy in your 6th and 4th house. So that is kind of expressing itself more strongly during the second half of April. So definitely it's time for creativity, communication, going after your goals, connecting with people, networking as well, using your skills, capabilities, or relearning or upskilling yourself, and also creating that sanctuary for yourself at home, being more creative at home as well, connecting with people at home, your family members and all that, and really growing spiritually, focusing on self-care, self-development, focusing on your health, bringing in that new health regime or new health plan. If there's a need to improve your health, definitely relax more, retreat, take a break and all that. Definitely the last 2 weeks of the month of April, definitely focus more on your emotional self and your daily structure, what brings you inner contentment, what relaxes you. Too much stress is not good for your health. It's Sagittarius, so definitely relax and retreat as well if you need to. In this Pisces energy, there's definitely an element of retreating and taking a break, and things will come to you. Spiritual and material growth will definitely come to you eventually, Sagittarius, in this year. So definitely just keep balancing yourself, focus on your growth, on your health, on your self-development, on your personal nurtures, inner nurturance. Now, the last week of April, there's a solar eclipse on the 30th of April, and Pluto goes retrograde on the 29th of April. So there's a lot of intense energy the last few days of the month of April as well. Now, Pluto goes retrograde on the 29th of April, the sign of Capricorn, which is your second house. So just before it goes retrograde, the day before, it will form a very harmonious aspect with Mercury in the sign of Taurus. Now, Capricorn and Taurus are earth signs, so it's all about career, material, finances, money matters, your daily life, job, and all that. Pluto in the second house in sign of Capricorn, which is about accumulated wealth, your possession, your material gains, connecting beautifully with Mercury in the sixth house, which is about work and health and your daily life. You can definitely expect some kind of transformation coming to you in terms of your finances and your daily life, connected to these matters. Now, on the 29th of April, Pluto goes retrograde. So Pluto is about transformation, and it is bringing transformation in your second house matter, which is your personal finance. Now, when Pluto goes retrograde, that transformation is more focused on your inner transformation. It goes within. So there's a need to transform yourself in your second house matter from within, Sagittarius, in the next 5 months while Pluto is retrograde. So it's a great time to focus more on a more principled, more scrupulous approach, and not leading in terms of your personal finance from an egoistic space. So definitely a focus on your spiritual growth, inner transformation the next 5 months, Sagittarius. Now, on the 30th of April, there's a solar eclipse, new moon in the sign of Taurus in your sixth house. So definitely this is the day when you can expect some kind of shift, going forward. Now, there is going to be eclipse on the Taurus Scorpio axis for the entire month of for the entire year, but this is the first solar eclipse of the year 2022. So definitely great energy to bring some shift in your work and health matters, in your daily life, in your daily the way you live, your lifestyle, your chores, your your daily structure, your habits, and all that. So this is the time definitely to just bring those shifts that you have been wanting, new energies, and changing your mindset as well from what you have been, the way you have been functioning, and the way you want to go forward, where you're heading. So definitely a good time, Sagittarius, to bring about shift in just the way you function on a daily basis. So overall, Sagittarius, in the month of April, there's a lot of focus on your communication, on your networking, connecting with people, your job matters, your home matters, your family members, your creativity, your your self-expression, and also your work and health matters. So definitely great time to bring about shift in these energies and lead from a more balanced space, more harmonious space, and a realistic approach as well is definitely required. And if things are not working out, current energies, then this is the time to bring shift in your in your lifestyle, the way you live, the way you structure your day, and the way you function, and in your work and health matters. So definitely a very good month for you to bring shift and unstuck yourself from the old ways, Sagittarius. Capricorn, for you in the month of April 2022, there's a lot of focus on your fourth house matter, your home matter. Your home matters, your family members, related matters, your emotional and physical foundation. Now, there's going to be a lot of focus on the sixth house as well. That's where the Taurus sign is. And also your third and second house matter. That's because that's where your Aquarius and Pisces sign sits. So there's a lot of focus on your home, family members matter, your creativity, your self-expression, children, romance, recreational time, fun time, and also to do with your money matters, your personal finance, and your communication, how you communicate, your mindset, your outlook, your the way you connect with people, networking, and all that. So the month begins with a new moon in the sign of Aries, right on the very first day, on the 1st of April. There's a new moon in the sign of Aries and in your 4th house. Now, this is a great time to move things forward, Capricorn, where your home matters are concerned or your sense of, stability, security is concerned. So you can definitely, come across news, information that makes you take new starts in your home matter. So maybe you are buying a new house and you get some information and you can go ahead with buying a house, or you're buying maybe a car or vehicle or something, because 4th house energy is to do with real estate. So it can be, property, or, anything that you own, any kind of property. So definitely a great time to have those starts. Now it can also mean fresh energy in terms of if you want to move places, cities, countries, relocating as well. So that can be energy as well going forward as Capricorns. Now in the first week of April, there's going to be a lot of focus on your 2nd house in the sign of Aquarius, because that's where Saturn is since December 2020 and will be there until March 2023. So there's a lot of focus on your money matters, on your personal finances, and Saturn can bring delays, limitations, structure, restlessness in your personal finance, in matters related to your finance. So you definitely want some structure in your personal finances, your accumulated wealth, your possessions and all that. You're very mindful of it not going out of control, Capricorn. Now Mars is also in the sign of Aquarius during this first 2 weeks of the month of April. So Mars is about enthusiasm, it's about action, it's about brings motion in wherever it goes. So here what it can do is you may be more enthusiastic about spending money or wanting to acquire some whatever property or possession during this time. So you need to be very careful regarding how you're spending, what you're spending, and maybe look into it, what you're trying to spend money on. And also Mars here can increase your personal finance as well, because now you're ready to bring into motion where your money making capabilities are concerned. Whatever plans that you have, ideas that you have, you can put that in motion. So Mars here can also bring an enhancement in your money matters, and also can make you spend during this time. So definitely something to watch out for and plan in advance regarding your personal finance, Capricorn. Now on the 5th of April, Venus moves in the sign of Pisces, and which is your 3rd house. Now Venus in the sign of Pisces is a beautiful energy, because Venus is considered exalted in the sign of Pisces, and in your 3rd house it's all about your communication, networking, connecting. So Venus in the sign of Pisces makes you more sensitive, compassionate, more creative. It's a very blessed energy. So here it will join Jupiter and Neptune during the month of April, during the entire month of April. So this brings a sense of sensitivity to your communication, a sense of creativity as well. You are more relaxed, more happy. It's a happier energy with Venus in the sign of Pisces. So your mindset, outlook, the way you think is more relaxed, more harmonious, and that leads to growth as well. If you're more content from within, you are more focused then on your growth, on your development, on your spiritual development as well. So definitely Venus in the sign of Pisces in your 3rd house is going to bring that efficient communication, relaxed communication, and that effective communication as well. You will come across more appealing in your communication, the way you communicate, Capricorn. Now on the 8th of April, Jupiter in the sign of Pisces in your 3rd house is going to sextile North Node in the sign of Taurus, which is your 5th house. Now 3rd house and 5th house is to do with expression, communication, information sharing, connecting, having a good time, having fun time, and doing things what brings you gratification, what brings you delight, what brings you fulfillment. So with the 3rd house and 5th house energy of networking and creative projects, this is a great time to all the efforts that you've been putting in the past, all the positive constructive effort, good efforts that you've been putting in the past, now you can see the outcome, or now the gates are open for you to pursue that whatever you want in your life. whatever you want to acquire in life, whether it's on spiritual level or material level, the opportunities, the creative opportunities, the job opportunities, or the learning opportunities, or networking, anything, whatever that might be, you'll be a bit more expansive, hopeful, optimistic in terms of applying your creative energy to achieve your goals and ambitions, Capricorn. Now, Capricorn, on the 10th of April, Mercury also moves in the sign of Taurus. So from the sign of Aries, in the first 10 days of the month of April, for the rest of the April, it moves in the sign of Taurus. So Taurus is your 5th house. So Mercury in your 5th house is great energy to communicate and express yourself more confidently, more freely, and more effectively, because Mercury is communication. It's your, mental application, your intellectual engagement, and it's also your skills and capabilities. And 5th house is about your talents, it's about your hobbies. It's also to do with, on some level, what you're good at. So with Mercury coming in your 5th house, this is a time to really express yourself, communicate, show your skills, what you're made of, what you can contribute in terms of especially in terms of a creative set of creative projects if you're involved in, or just express yourself freely, solo projects as well. All these things is going to reap your reward during this time. And when Mercury connects with Uranus and North Node in your 5th house in the sign of Taurus, it's great time to really connect yourself with that future goal, and go on that future path, whatever that brings you growth, spiritual growth. Now, Saturn is in the sign of Aquarius in your 2nd house, and from there it will be squaring the planets in Taurus. So that includes Mercury and North Node, both the energies. So when Saturn squares, square is a challenging, uneasy kind of aspect. So there's a need to apply and refocus your energy to get a constructive or positive outcome out of it. So if you want growth in your 2nd and 5th house matter, so if you desire growth in your 2nd house and 5th house matter, Capricorn, there's definitely need to apply more structure, more self-discipline where your finances are concerned. And the growth that you desire in terms of your creativity, and just having a good time, relaxed time, and have those free time to pursue your what's your heart desires, those solo project, the goals and all. It's very important to structure your money matters, your personal finance more, so that you are not in a financial upheaval and hence not able to pursue these solar projects that you want, creative projects. So secure yourself financially and be more disciplined regarding your money matters going forward as well for the entire year, because Saturn is going to be in your 2nd house until March 2023. So definitely you need to be more careful with your finances until then, at least. Now, Capricorn, on the 14th of April, Mars is going to move in the sign of Pisces, and you're in your 3rd house. Now there it will come together with Venus, Jupiter and Neptune, all in the sign of Pisces. Now Mars in the 3rd house, in your communication house, is great time to really express confidently, freely, whatever you need to express, and communicate better, network better, connect with people better, and go, the short trips that you want to take, the business trips you want to take, the contracts, deals, jobs, whatever you need to sign. This is a great energy in your 3rd house, and there's an opportunity to be move these things forward, definitely. Now Mars in 3rd house is a great position, absolutely great, but in the sign of Pisces you may feel a bit low in energy, or unsure, or not sure of what are the realistic goals in terms of you pursuing these opportunities. So Mars in Pisces may not feel as enthusiastic as it normally would be in pursuing traditional goals, old plans and all that. So maybe there's a need to change your mindset and maybe approach things more from a spiritual perspective, because Pisces is that spiritual energy, is the energy to look at things less from a material space. So definitely use this Martian energy in your 3rd house in the sign of Pisces to grow yourself, develop yourself, because Pisces is also about healing and developing yourself, self-development, personal development through the way you communicate and your mindset, your outlook. Maybe that can be maybe a new way of thinking can be put in motion, which is more more in tune with your spiritual side, more in tune with your healing needs, and just growing you from within, the inner growth, the inner contentment that needs to take place. Jupiter and Neptune will be conjuncting on the 12th of April in your third house. So this is a great, very blessed time to expand spiritually, to develop spiritually, to understand your inner motivation, your subconscious motivation, where your contentment lies, where your fulfillment lies, and move forward less from a materialistic space and more from a spiritual space. Now, North Node is in the sign of Taurus, so material aspect cannot be completely denied during this time, because Taurus is about tangible, realistic goals and material gains. And Capricorn as a sign, you're an earth sign, so you yourself is very much focused on what's tangible and what's realistic. But during this time in your third house, it's time to renew your mindsets. It's time to look at things in a different way, especially from your inner self, what motivates you from within, and definitely and move forward by understanding your subconscious motivations better. That will create more awareness in terms of your future life path, where you're heading, Capricorn. Now, on the 16th of April, there's a full moon in the sign of Libra and in your 10th house. So full moon is a time of culmination, it's time of release, also revealing old patterns, something that's not working anymore, something that needs to be readjusted or reassess to move forward. Now, the efforts that you've been putting the last 6 months in your career matters, all that is going to come to fruition during this time. A full awareness where you're heading now going forward, Capricorn, and where you have been coming from in the last 6 months, or even just in the past as well. So full moon in the sign of Libra in your 10th house is about harmony, finding that balance, harmony, and peace in your work, in your career matters, in your life direction. 10th house is not just to do with your career matters, it's also to do with your overall spiritual life direction. So that's what you are focused on during this time, the middle of the month. And if you think the current energies are not helping you grow, you need to bring in this new energy, with more awareness regarding your future path, your future life directions, Capricorn. Now, Capricorn, in the last couple of weeks of the month of April, there's going to be again a lot of focus on the 5th house and 3rd house matter. Now, 5th house is creativity, your self-expression, your children, your need to have fun time, romance and all that. And 3rd house is again your mindset, your outlook, your communication, networking, connecting, siblings, close ties, short trips and all that. So the planets in these two houses and sign, the 3rd and 5th, is very harmoniously aligned during the last 2 weeks of the month of April. So anything to do with these two house energy, this is a great time to put those in motion and really enjoy doing these things, most definitely, because this is a very fun loving, social friendly time. It's got a very that kind of energy, because there's Venus Mercury connecting. Now, Mercury is about communication, socializing, and Venus is about having a fun time, having a enjoyable time. So definitely the energies are so beautiful connected the last couple of weeks to make the most of, and to be more happy during the last 2 weeks. So do things that brings you delight, brings joy to you, get out, do things with your children if you have them, or you could receive some kind of news regarding that. So definitely there is definitely great energy in terms of your how you communicate, how you apply yourself, intellectually, your skills, capabilities, your talents, hobbies, all these comes into focus. And this is a time to also take a risk. If things if what you're doing currently in terms of your your creative project, or you're expressing yourself, the way you express yourself, the way you connect, the way you you utilize your skills and capabilities, is not helping you grow, it's stagnating you, last 2 weeks of the month of April is definitely time to take a risk and start something by yourself, because Uranus is in the 5th house. 5th house is the house of creativity, Uranus is technology, and this time to really use technology to start a new creative project or a business, a startup, because 5th house has that startup energy as well. So definitely look into these matters, Capricorn, in the last couple of weeks. Now, there will be a solar eclipse in your 5th house on the 30th of April. So that will kickstart a new beginning, a new exciting beginning for the rest of the year. So Capricorn, definitely this is the time, the last 2 weeks of the month of April, when you need to put something in motion for the future, because Mercury and also Jupiter, because Mercury and Jupiter in your 5th and 3rd house will be connecting harmoniously. So this is the time to use your skills, capabilities, or make plans, expansive plan, growth plans for the future, and you will definitely get this divine help, this Neptune Jupiter energy in your 3rd house with this North Node, Mercury, and the solar eclipse that's going to occur in your 5th house. This is the time to really make those plans, and you will see the effect over the next few years, because because the nodes are on your 5th and 11th house axis, and the eclipses are on these axes. So definitely this is the time to express yourself, to grow yourself, take a risk in terms of your skills, capabilities, and put something in motion, whatever you want to do, Capricorn, going forward. Now, last few years have been difficult for Capricorns, not just last few years, even the last, I would say, 4 or 5 years, probably since 2017, you have had a kind of a tough time. But I think next 2 years, the cycle is definitely moving, the things are shifting, and I think you are coming in definitely a better place, especially after Pluto moves out of your 1st house, and this massive transformation that has been taking, and your sense of identity is will be fully realized in a couple of years. But this is the time, I think, this year 2022, when you need to make these concrete future growth plans, to realize these to realize the success that you desire in future, Capricorn. Now Pluto will be going retrograde in your 1st house in the sign of Capricorn on the 29th of April. So just before it goes retrograde, is going to trine Mercury in the sign of Taurus. So Pluto in the sign of Capricorn and Mercury in Taurus, it's all about growth. It's about realistic growth, tangible growth. It's about material gains. It's about career matters. It's about achieving that life direction, the future life direction, more on a concrete level, more on spiritual and material level, both, because Pluto is about transformation, and Mercury is to do with your mindset, your outlook, your skills, capabilities, all those things, applying all those energies. So definitely use this to transform, going forward. Now when Pluto goes retrograde on the 29th of April, it becomes so the transformation is more internalized for the next 5 months. So definitely with Pluto retrograde for 5 months, you are going through transformation more from stemming from internal motivation. So definitely great time to look at how you're projecting yourself, your identity, your appearance, your personal priority, your destiny, all that, your personal growth. Look at your inner motivations, and really make concrete growth plans for the future. Now solar eclipse is on the 30th of April in your 5th house. Again, great shift occurring in your 5th house matter. So this is all about you, Capricorn, your solo project, and the way you grow yourself individually. It's all about your individual self from the solar eclipse onward. So overall, Capricorn, the month of April 2022 is about shifting from old energies to new energies, and putting those plans, growth plans, development plans, self-development plan, personal development plan into motion, or at least plan it. Take a risk, move forward, because Capricorn, you are ruled by Saturn, so you can take a bit of a long time to plan and move things forward, because you need to see everything, because you need to trust in the outcome. You need to trust the outcome before you can get the plans rolling. But now is the time, with so much 5th house energy. The 5th house is the house of taking a risk. Capricorn, you have the ability, you have the capability, you have developed a lot of skills, and talent, and whatever, the capabilities, the abilities that you have over the years, over many years. So apply those now, and really start something new. Definitely, Capricorn. Aquarius, for you in the month of April 2022, there's going to be a lot of focus on your 3rd house matter and your 4th house matter, because that's where the Aries sign and Taurus sign sits. Now, third house is your Aries sign. So your mindset, the way you connect, the way you communicate, all that is in spotlight during this month, especially in the first 2 weeks of the month of April. And then towards the second half of the month of April, and in fact entire April as well, there's a lot of focus on your home and family matters in your fourth house. Now, besides these two energies, there's a lot of focus on your first house and your second house as well, Aquarius, because there's Mars and Saturn in your first house, you know, in the first 2 weeks of the month of April. And Saturn is there for the entire year anyways. It's there since December 2020 and will be there until March 23. So there's a lot of emphasis on yourself, you know, already. And Pisces is where your second house is. There's a lot of energies in your second house. There's Jupiter and Neptune there, and also Venus will be joining these two energy, and Mars later on in the month in your second house. So Aquarius, the month of April begins with a new moon in the sign of Aries in your third house. Now, Aries is a fire sign and you're an air sign, so it's kind of a harmonious energy. It goes well with your energy, Aquarius. So third house is about how you connect with people, how you communicate, how you network, your mindset, your outlook, also your local environment, you know, your local community, your siblings, close ties and all that, and short trips as well. So new moon here is time to put all those plans and ideas, all those things into motion regarding your third house matters. So if you're trying to network, connect with people, communicate in a different way, change your mindset, outlook regarding old energies that's probably not working for you anymore, this is the time to put these things in motion. Now, Aries is about action, it's about ambition, goals, energy. So this is the time to have that drive, enthusiasm, to, you know, connect with people, you know. Also business, third house has this business energy to, you know, start a business, to grow a business, or just approach your business differently during this time and bring new energies in, you know, all the matters that is related to your third house. Now, in the first week of April, Mars is in the sign of Aquarius in your first house and is together there with Saturn. Now, Mars and Saturn are kind of different energies, because Mars is about action, it's about energy, it's about moving forward, moving fast, moving quick. Now, Saturn is more of a limiting and delaying kind of energy, but it's also about structuring yourself and self-disciplining yourself to, you know, achieve the success that you want to achieve. Now, in your first house, it's all about your personal identity, your, you know, personal priority, your life path, your appearance, how you project yourself, just overall your self-image. Now, Mercury is in the sign of Aries in the first 10 days of the month of April and in your third house. So from there, it will be forming a very harmonious aspect with Mars and Saturn in your first house. So your third house, which is a communication house, and first house, which is you, house about you, it's connecting beautifully. So this is a time to, so you'll feel very efficient, confident, focused in, you know, moving things forward, where your own life direction is concerned, where what you want to achieve for the future, your personal growth, even your appearance. If you want to reinvent yourself, this is a great time to do that. With Mars in the first house, you will be very enthusiastic to bring those new changes to your identity, your personality, most definitely. And with Mercury connecting with Mars and Saturn, your communication, your mental application is more focused, is more realistic and more growth oriented, most definitely. And you're definitely very much on fire to connect, communicate, share information, and really project yourself in the best possible manner, Aquarius. Now, Venus will be moving in the sign of Pisces in your second house on the 5th of April and will be joining Jupiter and Neptune throughout the month of April. So Venus in Pisces is a very blessed position. It's because Venus in Pisces is all about sensitivity, creativity, compassion, you know, affluence, and just overall being harmonious and creative. So in the second house is all about your personal finance, it's your accumulated wealth, your possession, also your self-worth. So here Venus with Jupiter and Neptune in the month of April is going to bring this blessed energy, harmonious energy to grow yourself financially. And Jupiter is already there, so it's bringing the luck factor, most definitely. So you'll feel your money making capabilities or your finances are growing beautifully during this time. So definitely, if there's something you want to put in motion which will get you more money, this is the time to do that. And also, if you are looking for a pay rise or a bonus or changing your job and getting, you know, that more money for yourself, this is the time these things can happen during this time, because there's a lot of third house, new moon energy in third house, which is about, you know, going for that interview, job interview, applying for that job and all that. So third house energy is already there, and with this Jupiter and Venus in your second house, so you could get a new job, and that can lead to more money, you know, more income for you. Now on the 8th of April, Jupiter in the sign of Pisces will connect with the North Node in the sign of Taurus. Now that is your fourth house of home and family matters, Aquarius. So second house is money matters, the fourth house is your emotional, physical foundation. So this brings a lot of blessed energy in your home environment, in your money matters going forward as well. And all the things, planning that you're doing in terms of growing yourself in your home environment, this Jupiter is going to bring positive energy. Now Saturn is in the sign of Aquarius in your first house and is squaring all the planets, the energies in your fourth house, which is North Node and Uranus, and after 10th of April it's going to be Mercury in the sign of Taurus as well. So Saturn over there is squaring, and square is a challenging, uneasy aspect. Now this squaring energy will be till March 2023, so you will feel the, you know, the growth that you're seeking, the plans that you have, the growth plans, the progressive plans that you have, especially regarding your home matters, your spiritual matters, your material matters, is kind of delayed, and you face with limitations, and that can lead to restlessness and even doubting yourself whether your plans will work or not. But Jupiter here in the month of April at least is going to bring this positive energy. So any limitations that you may feel in your expressing yourself and, you know, creating that home environment or your own emotional stability and security, Aquarius, it's important to lead from a more of a spiritual space, because Saturn is a karmic energy and the North Node is also a karmic point. So when these two connect, it's important to lead from less of an egoistic space and more of a, you know, more spiritually inclined space. Focus more on scrupulous and principled ideas and, you know, actions, more than, you know, things done on things led by physical achievement, external achievement. So it's a time to focus on inner fulfillment, inner contentment, because with North Node in your fourth house, it's definitely you need to seek validation within yourself rather than, you know, from outside forces. So definitely this Saturn squaring planets in your fourth house is time to seek growth through channeling your energy in a more spiritual way and more positive and constructive way, Aquarius. Now on the 12th of April, Jupiter will be conjunct Neptune again in your second house. Now this is a very blessed spiritual energy for growth, development, self-development, and in your money house, in your personal finance house, this is a time you can definitely expect some kind of, beneficial energy coming your way where your money matters are concerned, Aquarius. And now, Aquarius, on the 14th of April, Mars will move out of your sign, Aquarius, and into the sign of Pisces in your second house. Now, when Mars moves in the sign of Pisces there, it will join Venus, Jupiter, and Neptune throughout the month of April and even a bit in the month of May. So in the month of April, in Mars in the second house is all about taking action with your personal finance and your money matters. For your finances are concerned, your possession, accumulated wealth, all that is concerned. So this can lead to spending, Aquarius. So watch out your spending, your outgoings, and keep a financial plan, a budget plan, because there's Jupiter also there. Jupiter does bring beneficial, positive energy, growth energy in your money matters, but also it can drain your money because you are very optimistic and you are willing to splurge during this time. So with Mars, that egoistic need to spend and accumulate possession and material aspect of life can lead to spending too much, especially even on things you don't need, or impulsive spending. So really have a budget plan, stick to it in the month of April, so that you're not in a financial crisis going forward, Aquarius. Now there's a full moon in the sign of Libra in your 9th house. Now the 9th house is about expansion. It's about taking on those future opportunities, new opportunities, exploring new territories. It's a house of your belief system, your life purpose, your learning, traveling needs, and all that. So full moon here is and full moon is about culmination. It's about revelation. It's about readjustment if current energies are not working. And also it brings a shift in mindset because it brings more clarity and awareness regarding that house matter. And with Libra energy, it's about finding a harmony and balance in that house. So with this full moon in Libra in your 9th house, you need to seek out, you will get more awareness, more clarity regarding future plans, future opportunities, new territories that you want to explore. Or if you want to travel and all that, this could be a time maybe you are traveling and and you're exploring, and that brings some kind of awareness or clarity or revelation, something in your lives to move forward in terms of how you approach your life, how you see things, your perspective, other people's perspective, viewpoints, and all that. Now Aquarius, in the last couple of weeks of the month of April, there's going to be a lot of emphasis again on your 4th and 2nd house. The 4th house is your Taurus energy, and 2nd house is your Pisces energy, because there's because there's accumulation of planets in these two houses and sign, and they are harmoniously aligned as well. So it's not a challenging energy. So it's actually a happy, blessed, good energy to move forward with. So if you've got any plans regarding your home matters, your family matters, and your financial matters, this is a time to really seek that growth, that achievement, that fulfillment that you desire, Aquarius. And because the planets are so beautiful aligned, you will feel more confident, more enthusiastic, more aligned with what you want to the where you want to go, your future path, your future plans regarding all these matter, especially 4th and 2nd house matter. So with Mercury North Node connecting with Venus, Mars, Jupiter and Neptune in the 2nd and 4th house, there's a need for balance as well in terms of what you're achieving, your growth plans and all that. And it's basically a fun-loving, positive time. So you definitely will be more in tune to achieve or at least go after what you want to, what the plans are, whatever plans you have. It's a very creative time, communicative time, social time, fun time. It's a time to create balance as well, because you're very much willing to spend and have a good time basically. So definitely watch out on your finances. So definitely be mindful of what you're spending, how you're spending, and you're not going overboard in terms of all these good positive energy, because when there's an overdose of good and positive energy, we lose track on the finances, mostly because we are splurging and want to acquire all these things and have a good time. So whatever you're planning, it's great to go ahead because there's such positive energy, but just be mindful that you're not in a crisis once these energies are over. So great time to connect with your family members and connect with your roots as well, just your home environment. Create a beautiful home environment, relaxing, like a sanctuary where you can feel more in tune with your peaceful self, where you are more relaxed and you're having a good time. Now the last month of April, Aquarius, is quite intense because there's a solar eclipse occurring on the 30th of April in your 4th house in the sign of Taurus. And also Pluto will go retrograde on the 29th of April. Now Pluto is in the sign of Capricorn in your 12th house. So these energies are quite intense right at the end of the month of April. Now Pluto goes retrograde on 29th April, but just before it goes retrograde, a day before, it forms a very harmonious aspect with Mercury in the sign of Taurus. So 12th house and 4th house So 12th house and 4th house energies are connected very harmoniously, especially in the last week of the month of April. So what happens with now 12th house is to do with your subconscious motivation and self-awareness, also the need to retreat, take a break, recharge your batteries, connect with your inner self, heal and relax and all that. So Pluto connecting there with Mercury in 4th house, it's about creating that environment at home or retreating with your family members, or just having healing, relaxing, fun, just transformative kind of time, growth inducing time in your within yourself, your emotional and physical foundation. Now on the 29th of April, Pluto will go retrograde, and Pluto is about transformation. So in 12th house, it's bringing transformation to your subconscious self. Your inner motivation is creating self-awareness. It's developing you, focusing on healing and self-development. But when it goes retrograde, the transformation turned inward. So you're more focused internally. The energy, the motivation to transform is internalized internalized, it's more coming from within. So this is a great time to release any old energies. If there's a situation which is leading to self-sabotage or self-deception, this is time to really look at what your future are, what your future holds, what is the life direction you want to go on, what are your future plans, and really align yourself on a more spiritual way, Aquarius, more scrupulous and principled way, because the retrograde Pluto is about going within and being more ethical, more spiritual, more principled in your approach. Now, when the solar eclipse occurs in your 4th house on the 30th of April in the sign of Taurus, this is time for exciting new beginnings in your 4th house matter. So you could be buying a house or moving or connecting with your family members, or it could lead to an additional family member as well. So 4th house is very much spotlighted in the month of April, and also going forward because this eclipse occurs on your 4th and 10th house axis. So there's a lot of shift occurring in your your home matter and your career matters. So all that, you'll feel the energy shifting in the month of April, because this is the first solar eclipse of the year 2022 on the 30th of April. So you will see the energy shifting slowly but surely for the rest of the year, Aquarius. So Aquarius, overall, the month of April 2022 is all about you connecting with your inner self, your inner motivation, looking at your inner motivation, where your inner fulfillment lies, where your inner contentment lies, your home, your roots, your foundation. Also, your money matters is in focus, and the way you connect and communicate, Aquarius. So it's all about focusing and disciplining yourself to achieve those growth plans that you have in all aspects of life, especially focused on your individual self, your self-identity, Aquarius. Pisces, for you in the month of April 2022, there's a lot of focus on yourself, on your money matters, on your mindset, your outlook, how you connect and communicate with people, and also your subconscious self, your inner motivation, your self-awareness and self-development as well. So Pisces, the month of April begins with a Aries new moon, and Aries is your 2nd house of personal finance, of accumulated wealth, of your possessions, assets, and also your self-worth, Pisces. So a new moon occurring here and in the sign of Aries, which is about taking action, which is about putting your ideas and plans in motion. This is a perfect time to set that in motion, get the ball rolling. So Pisces, whatever plans you have regarding your money matters, whether you want to use your money making capabilities to increase your worth or increase your finances, or if you want to apply for that job which will give you a raise in your salary, whatever that might be, this is the time to think about it and put those ideas, plans in motion, because this is the beginning of a major cycle for this year, because Aries is the first sign in the zodiac field and it's occurring in your 2nd house. So the plans that you put during this Aries new moon, Pisces, you will see the results unfolding over the next 6 months when in the month of October, when the Aries full moon occurs. So definitely this is the time to put this is the time to put some kind of personal finance plan in motion. Also, this is a great time to put a financial budget or a financial plan, your own financial plan, so that you can watch out on your outgoings and incomings better during this time. So Pisces, whatever that might be, this is a great time to have fresh beginning, new start, and also look at your money matters in a new perspective with a new mindset. Now Pisces, in the first week of the month of April, there's going to be Mars and Saturn energy in the sign of Aquarius and in your 12th house. Now Saturn is already there in your 12th house since December 2020 and will be there until March 2023. Now 12th house is to do with your subconscious self. It's to do with your internal motivation, your need to retreat, your need to relax, have spend time in solitude. It's to do with your self-awareness, your healing needs, in all that. Now what Saturn does is it asks you to be realistic in approach and be more self-disciplined where your own healing is concerned, and where your own, the way you approach your inner motivations are concerned, your subconscious motivation are concerned. And though it may feel a bit kind of limiting and delaying kind of energy with Saturn in your 12th house, in terms of, coming to that full awareness regarding what is, what your growth plans are, how you want to move forward. It may come with some kind of, it may come with limitations, but if you use the Saturn energy, be more realistic and structured in terms of how you're approaching your healing and how you're approaching your just need to develop and self-development as well, then you can achieve a lot. Now with Mars in there, now with Mars in the 12th house with the Saturn in there already, you will definitely feel this enthusiasm, sudden enthusiasm to go after, to retreat, to take a break, to focus on your healing, on your self-development and awareness and all that during this time. So now Mercury is in the sign of Aries in the first 10 days of April and in your second house. So from there it is connecting with the Mars and Saturn in your 12th house. So second house is about money and 12th house is about retreating. So this is a great time to use your money matters, maybe to retreat, to take a break, to maybe you do yoga or meditation, or join a club or something that can do yoga, meditation, or just overall healing, whatever brings you relaxation. This is the time to do that. And also use this Mercury, and also Mercury is to do with communication, your mindset, your outlook. So you can use that as well to create more awareness regarding your subconscious pattern. Now Pisces, if you're in a kind of a cycle where your own actions or your mindset is leading to self-undoing, self-deception in terms of how you're approaching life, maybe you are not creating that self-awareness, that subconscious motivation, awareness regarding yourself, regarding your future plans, how you approach life generally. This is the time you can use this energy to really understand where your own self lies, where is your ultimate healing lies, ultimate growth lies, ultimate well-being lies, and connecting it with your self-worth and your financial matters as well. So this is a time maybe looking at these matters in a new way, Pisces. Now on the 5th of April, Venus will be moving in the sign of Pisces in your first house. Now Venus in the sign of Pisces is great placement because Venus is considered exalted in the sign of Pisces, and in your first house it's a very blessed time, especially for the rest of the month of April, because you will feel more sensitive, compassionate, more creative, more romantic during this time. So now Venus over there is going to join Jupiter and Neptune in the month of April, going forward. So definitely you'll feel a little bit more relaxed, more compassionate, more sensitive, more creative as well, more confident as well to pursue these things. And especially it connects with your self-image, your personal priority, your personal destiny, your life path. What do you want for your future? What do you want for your future, Pisces? That's what you're planning right now. That's what you're focused on right now. And there's a lot of blessed energy. So in the month of April, this is a time to really think about it and plan your future, especially regarding how you want to project yourself, your self-image, and just your overall health as well. Because first house is to do with your body image, your health matters as well. So this is also time to heal yourself and focus on your well-being as well, Pisces. Now on the 8th of April, Jupiter in your first house will form a very harmonious aspect with North Node in the sign of Taurus. Taurus is your third house, Pisces. So the first house, which is yourself, your self-image, and third house, which is how you connect and communicate, and your mindset and outlook and all that is very beautifully aligned. So Jupiter is hopefulness, optimism, and third house is about connection. So you're very optimistic about the way you communicate, and maybe connecting with people may reap you better results during this time when Jupiter is aligning with North Node. And also whatever you're trying to achieve in terms of your communication, connecting and all that may reap you better result during this time, especially after the 8th of April moving forward. Now on the 10th of April, Mercury is going to move in the sign of Taurus and in your third house. Now Mercury is about communication, third house is also about communication. So the communication planet is in the communication house, and in the sign of Taurus. Now Taurus is an earthy sign, so this is about focused communication. This is about confident, expressing yourself confidently, but more from a realistic space, more from a tangible space. So you're not in a fantasy land anymore. So you want to communicate and connect with people during this time more on a focused, concrete, realistic space. You really want positive actions. So this Mercury in Taurus is going to make you more realistic in terms of how you communicate, and also your mindset, just the way you approach life as well, Pisces, because North Node and Uranus is already in the third house, and Mercury will be conjuncting these two energies as well as the month progresses. So Uranus is about this, so Uranus in third house is already bringing this rebooting kind of energy, the way you see life, your mindset, your opinion, your communication and connection, the way you do all those things. Now Mercury is the communication planet. It's the skills and capability planet. It's the outlook and mindset planet. So here it's definitely bringing that energy, a kind of a shift, a reboot as well, like fast tracking these energies during the month of April. Now all these energies are positive to change your mindset and connect more and connect with people and communicate with people more on a realistic and a serious way, and growth oriented and growth inducing way. Now there is Saturn in the sign of Aquarius in your 12th house, which will be squaring the planets in the sign of Taurus in your third house. So when the 12th house planet squares your third house planet, you may still be stuck in old energies, or maybe not able to move out of your old patterns and past patterns with that Saturn in your 12th house, challenging the planets in your third house, which is your communication and your the way, your perspective, the way you see life, and the way your outlook and the way you connect with people is being challenged by Saturn. So maybe motivations from past or past patterns or lack of closure or anything can keep you from communicating, or maybe you need to give closure to other people, and that's what is holding your connection. So definitely there's a need to communicate, and this energy can last till March 2023, because Saturn will be in your 12th house until March 2023. So but in the month of April there is an opportunity to make that shift. You slowly but surely you will get there, and now and it's a good time to reset that old pattern, because Pluto will be moving the sign of Aquarius in 2025. All those energies needs to be released now while Saturn is in your 12th house, because when you do release this energy, this transformation can occur with Pluto in the 12th house. Your subconscious transformation and healing can occur as well then. Now Pisces, there's a Jupiter and Neptune conjunction occurring in your first house on the 12th of April. Now this is a absolutely blessed energy for spiritual development, because Jupiter is about expansion and growth, and Neptune is about your spirituality. And in your first house, this is the time to seek that spiritual development in your in the way you approach your identity, in the way you approach your self-image, your personal identity, and also approach things in a creative and realistic way, be more inspired during this time for the growth, the spiritual growth that you seek, Pisces. So definitely a great energy. Now on the 14th of April, Mars will also move in the sign of Pisces from the sign of Aquarius. So from your 12th house to first house. So there's going to be a lot of energy in the last 2 weeks of the month of April in your first house, Pisces. So there's Mars, Venus, Jupiter, Neptune all together in Pisces. So absolutely great time to bring in that change in that self-image, or enhance your self-image, or seek balance in your self-image, the way you project yourself and the way you see yourself as well, Pisces. Now Pisces, on the 16th of April, there's a full moon occurring in the sign of Libra and in your 8th house. Now 8th house is the house of your shared values and shared resources. So when a full moon occurs in your 8th house, it's a time of culmination, revelation, regarding your shared finances, shared value system. So definitely during this time you will come to, there's some kind of conclusion, some kind of culmination is definitely going to be experienced in your financial matters. Now anything that you put in the last 6 months, you may see the outcome of it during this time, especially where your finances are concerned, your investments are concerned, your social finances are concerned as well. If you have taken a loan or you have a debt, this is a time also to pay up those things and release yourself from the old stuck energy. Now it is in the sign of Libra, so you are seeking harmony and balance going forward, and hence you are releasing yourself from old energies by either repaying the debt, the loan that you owe, or just balancing your overall energy in your shared finances, shared value system. Now Pisces, in the last couple of weeks of the month of April, there's a lot of focus on your third house and first house matter, because there are planets, because there are energies in your third house, which is a Taurus sign. So there's Mercury there, there's a North Node there, and also there is Uranus there, and your first house where Mars, Venus, Jupiter, Neptune all are together in the sign of Pisces in your first house. So in the last 2 weeks of the month of April, these planets are very happily aligned with each other. Very harmonious energy. Now it's because these planetary energies individually are also very blessed, harmonious, very positive kind of energy. And with this aspect of the third and first house, your mindset, outlook, communication style, how you connect with people, your close ties, your siblings, your local environment, your neighborhood, your need for short trips, your need for business trips and all that. Also just your skills and capability, the need to learn, upskill yourself, use that skills and capabilities to maybe to get another job. All this is beautifully aligned with your self-image, your first house matters. So that is how you project yourself, how you put yourself out in the world, your appearance, your projection, the way you dress, the way, just your overall look as well. And also to do with your health, because first house is to do with your body image, your well-being, your health as well, your physical health as well. So all this is so beautifully aligned. So definitely there's blessed energy, fortunate energy in terms of how you're communicating and how you're projecting yourself. So this is a time also to really use this energy to relax and be more confident in the way you express yourself and communicate yourself, because you're leading from a more spiritual space and more compassionate and sensitive space, and that's why you're confident in your approach during this time. Because when Mercury aspects Jupiter and Neptune in the sign of Pisces, this is a time to be confident, express yourself, communicate yourself, plan for the future as well, and use your skills and capability to achieve whatever you want to achieve. This Mercury coming in contact with Jupiter is great time for making decisions, being open-minded, have a broad outlook, broad perspective regarding your future plans, regarding your connections, communications, your self-image, just overall your persona. Because when planets are in the first house, your whole chart becomes activated, because first house, everything is stemming from first house, yourself, how you see yourself. So when that is in a blessed position, that's in an enhancing kind of position, growth inducing position, positive, then your whole life, the ripple effect is on all aspects of life, whether it's your relationship, home matters, how you communicate, your career, your job, your finances, everything feels that positive effect. And that's what is there for you in the last 2 weeks of April, Pisces. So definitely use this energy to have fun, socialize, be a little bit more spiritual in your approach, more scrupulous and more principled in your approach, the way you connect with people. Now Pisces, you are a sensitive and compassionate sign by nature, so bring that energy out, and your creativity, your compassion, your communication during this time can actually help and heal others as well, Pisces. Now the last 2 weeks of April, Pisces, there's a special emphasis on your third house, because that's a Taurus sign, and also Sun moves in the sign of Taurus, so it brings a lot more focus than other houses and sign, especially in the last 2 weeks. So again, your communication and connections are definitely at the forefront in the last 2 weeks. Now there's also a solar eclipse occurring on the 30th of April in your third house. So solar eclipse is a is an exciting new beginning. It is a time for exciting new beginning, or a new shift, a new cycle, you know, in the way you communicate and connect, basically, Pisces. So the new moon in the sign of Taurus, the solar eclipse, is going to bring a major shift for you, most definitely, and for everyone it's bringing a shift, but for you it's in the third house matter. So for the rest of the year, this is the first solar eclipse of 2022, this Taurus solar eclipse on the 30th of April, and this is going to kickstart a whole season of eclipse for the rest of the year, and the eclipses are occurring on your third and ninth house axis. So that's your own perspective and your, you know, wider perspective, other people's perspective. All that is going through shift in this year 2022 and next year as well, but this year is the major focus is on this year. So definitely, Pisces, you can expect fresh beginnings, new start, even unexpected starts as well, you know, things that you did not expect, it comes to fruition, and or begins anew, you know, during this time. So definitely all those energies are in your third house matter. Now, just before now, the last week of the month of April is quite intense. Along with the solar eclipse, there's Pluto also going retrograde on the 29th of April, just before the solar eclipse occurs. And before it goes retrograde, it joins with Mercury, the sign of Taurus, in a harmonious aspect, in a trining aspect. So Pluto is in the sign of Capricorn in your 11th house. That's where your Capricorn sign sits, and Taurus is your third house. So Pisces 11th house is your social circle. So there's a transformation occurring in your you know, social circle, how you connect with people, you know, especially larger group of people. And third house is how you connect with your local environment. So there's a harmonious aspect with these two energies. And so definitely you can seek growth in the way you connect with people, not just locally, but also, you know, expansively, you know, in a broader way. Now, Pluto goes retrograde on the 29th. Now, Pluto is about transformation, but when it goes retrograde, the transformation is focused within, you know, from within. So the motivation for that transformation is more internalized. So for the next 5 months, from 29th April, you will have this transformation occurring in your 11th house matter, in your social circle, from within, occurring, you know, stemming from within yourself. So 11th house is to do with your teamwork, group work, organization, your professional gains, hopes and wishes, on all that, and social circle. So all that is going through a transformation, most definitely. So Pisces, in the month of April 2022, for you, it's all about focusing on yourself, your healing, your well-being, your health, and also on the way you communicate and connect with people, your outlook, your mindset, and also releasing yourself from old past pattern to bring new growth, you know, going forward, Pisces. So this was my April 2022 astrological forecast, just discussing the energy that's available in the month of April for all the signs. So I hope you can use this information to live more consciously, and you know, and use these astrological energies to bring the growth that you seek, the growth that you desire, the future plans that you have. You can put those in motion and bring that new growth, new cycle, new shift in your life, you know, wherever you seek. So definitely April is the month where things starts to kickstart. It's a beginning of a new astrological year. So definitely put things in motion now to see the results unfold over the next 12 months. Thank you very much for watching, and have a lovely day.